Hi, it's Zanro. Excited that a new generation are taking on a classic series. 6 filmmakers, 10 countries, 1 winner.
What could possibly go wrong?
Race around the world. Streaming now on ABC iView. This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season.
On ABC Sport.
AFL. On ABC Radio.
On digital. And ABC Listen.
Look for the AFL button.
The Fraser freight train rolls into Western Sydney, already 4 from 4. Can the Carlton caretaker make it 5 from 5? Meanwhile, the Giants have been the masters of a late season run in recent years. If they're to do that again, they need to get moving. Welcome to the Sydney Showground. Ben Cameron in position to call all of the action alongside Ty Kennelly, the 2005 Premiership player, and Alicia Reaver, the triple threat player, coach, analyst. We'll get to both of them in a moment. But Declan Burney's here for all of the action as well. Declan, always a treat to see you.
Yeah, great to be here. I feel like this is the wild card advertisement game. Both these teams would be, if there wasn't season over, you'd be using the classic mathematically a chance. Yeah. But GWS, they're out of the finals on percentage at the moment, and Carlton, like you say, 4 in a row. If they win today, they'll be equal with 10th, so plenty to play for. Carlton in form, and we saw what the Giants can do here against Brisbane a couple of weeks ago. The
fascinating thing about GWS has been their late season run. So you go back to last year, they won 9 out of 10 to finish. They won 7 in a row in the second half of the year in 24, and then in 2023 they were 4 and 8 before they won 11 of their next 13, en route to a prelim, which they lost by 1 point to the eventual premiers Collingwood. So I remember being in the rooms post that game and Toby Green howling, sobbing after that defeat. So they can put it together late in the season. Ty Kennelly, always a treat to see you and that broad smile of yours. Can they do it again this year, GWS?
Yeah, look, they've been very inconsistent this year. Their best has been outstanding. You just haven't done it long enough, and that's been the problem for the year for mine. You know, they've played quarters that it's gone, they can beat anyone in the competition, and then they've been quarters where anyone in the competition can beat them. That's the challenge for this football team right here. Now, give it, they've had a lot of injuries throughout the year. At different times, their best have been out, which is very, very challenging, and you don't want to be relying on history. Sometimes you can continue to rely on what's happened in the past, but you need to actually get to work and get it done. And I think disappointing finish last week. The last 10-15 minutes of that game against St Kilda, you'd expect the maturity of the Giants to get over the line. It didn't happen. That's worrying signs. And Carlton obviously off the back of a bye with that momentum, with a new coach. And I've been involved myself with a new coach. When a new coach comes in, and the excitement and the way they are playing reminds me an awful lot with the shift that we had with Rocket and Ruzi, where he just went, go and play, boys. Just take the game on. It's exhilarating, it's exciting, it's offensive, and that's where Carlton are playing their footy, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been compared a little bit to when Ruzi took over at Sydney. I should have asked the GWS person about the Giants as well. I mean, you are too now, Tig, as well. We've got 2 GWS Giants people, but
got the Blues.
The former Giants captain, Alicia Reaver, what's the sense you're getting about a late season run, so many injuries in the early part of the year? Can they do it again?
Yeah, look, it's been really interesting. I've been heavily involved in the Giants program the last few seasons, and when the Giants have kind of been in this lull, there's always still been a quiet confidence that if the Giants can go back to system and play that consistently, and Tiger used the word consistency, then they're winning more games than they're losing. And I think that's been the frustrating part for Adam Kingsley. There's been injuries as well, but just the lack of consistency. He's probably been tearing his hair out in this mid part of the season. But this is a really, really important game for the Giants today, for both clubs. But, there's been a quiet confidence that the Giants have been able to come home strong in the back half of the season, but that means getting a win today.
Let's go to the 5th member of our team sitting between the benches, Phil Pryor. Welcome.
Yeah, g'day crew. The Giants are celebrating the diversity of their Western Sydney community for their Cultural Heritage Series clash. So culture's being celebrated out there today, and celebrated with pride in the stands, which adds great vibrance to the showground in what's this family-friendly time slot as well. A good crowd in, good football conditions too. A cooling 20 degrees at present. A bit breezy but dry as we approach sunset. It's a good vibe as excitement builds, crew.
Thank you for that. Both of the teams just making their way into position at the moment as the lights flicker, as they do at every venue around the place now, like a rave before we get started here at the showground. It's been a vibe out here today with that multicultural festival for the Giants. There's been an Iron Maiden tribute band. It has all been happening here at this showground. Carlton and GWS, two teams hoping to springboard into their second half of the year. You're with Declan Byrne.
Early tap the way of Briggs. Giants running to the left of your radio dial, but at the ground, at the source, as per usual. Cripps hands off to Jagger Smith. Throws the quick kick inside 50. Mackay had front position. Spoiled late was Taylor. Back in for his third game. Comes loose to Whitfield. Hands it off to Harvey Thomas. Tries to get round one. Doesn't. Handball is Aaron. And so Oliver has to apply a tackle, which was high. Cottrell, one of the ins, with the free kick.
Sets it up towards full forward, looking for a marker, but back there, Himmelberg. Great defensive mark at fullback for GWS. There's that long-term deal at the Homebush end of the ground. Exiting kick, out towards the wing. Up they go. Coming down with it, Angwin. Nice contested mark. Has just settled in recent times, Ryan Angwin. 23 now. He retreats, goes back to Wyden. Giants in their back pocket, moves it on to Ash. EJ Witten, medalist in the State of Origin game. He's wearing the navy blue on that occasion, gets around an opponent, kicks it to Briggs, who juggles it, balances it on the back of his bonce, and then regathers it to take the mark, centre half back. No score through the opening minute.
There might be a few World Cup references. That was like watching Zidane or something, but I don't think Briggs was intentionally controlling it. The kick came to Harvey Thomas. He plays on with his left foot up towards left half forward in the direction of Daniels. And marking that is Green in front. Juggled it. Well, they're not going to pay the mark. Thought he might have taken it just in front. And they're going to say that it went out. And it's a lasso free kick to Toby Green. Just beyond 50. Short kick inside. Brent Daniels is standing all on his own.
It does look greasy, doesn't it? You know, this twilight time slot can be challenging as a player when you think it's dry enough, and it's actually it's not. It's just a bit of juice settling into it. And I know Giants have tried Lockie Ash on ball, but, you know, you saw an example there of his drive. Just takes the man on the mark. He's 30 metres out and gives him some rebound. And this guy playing on ball has been super, hasn't he, Alicia?
Such a frustrating year for him last year, but he is settling into the midfield rotation at the moment and goes forward to kick the first goal of the day. Brent Daniels gets the Giants to 1 straight 6. Carlton yet to score. We've played 2 minutes. Saturday footy here on ABC Sport, and your experts are Alicia Eva and Ty Kennelly.
Yeah, it was a really nice finish from Brent Daniels there, and look, he probably doesn't often get to take uncontested chest marks inside the forward 50, particularly when he's playing forward, but he's started this game like he has the last few games on ball, and I'm likely assuming he's going to spend the majority of time on ball. He's actually matched up on Sam Walsh, and on that occasion Walsh just switched off momentarily defensively, as midfielders can sometimes do when they get back into their defensive 50. They're looking to cover space more so than a man. So Brent Daniels just snuck into a pocket of space then and takes an easy uncontested mark and finishes brilliantly.
4 coaches' votes last week for Brent Daniels. Also the number 1 pressure player in the comp since round 11. Back in the middle, Pitnet palming it down. No clearance for the goal kicker. Daniels comes back to Pitnet of the Blues. He'll give it out to Walsh. Running laterally, now backtracking, handball to Jagger Smith, who flicks it onto Florent, gets it moving to Cripps. Cripps can kick inside 50. The Blues looking for a marker, spoiled away by Himmelberg. Bouncing ball, trucking it back, Cottrell. He slaps it through, and it'll be a minor score. So the Blues off the mark with that behind. GWS 1 straight 6, Carlton 1 behind, 3.5 played.
Himmelberg already having influence on back. You know, if you're a Carlton Football Club trying to get something on him, get him away from those injuries.
Oh, Whitfield puts himself under some pressure. Had to do a little U-turn in the goal square after he played on. Finds Sam Taylor and then runs past Taylor to get the kick. Down the line to Himmelberg, the man you're talking about, but cruising across in front was Cowan. Takes the intercept mark on the wing. Couple of metres in from the boundary line for Carlton. Cowan, low kick, inside 50 to a huge pack of players again, but cruising in front with ease is McGovern. He marks 48 metres out on a slight angle.
Yeah, it looked like the ball almost kind of dropped suddenly, and I think Connor Iden may have had the initial matchup. Sam Taylor standing the mark at the moment, but it just dropped very kindly for McGovern there, and he ends up taking an uncontested mark.
He was kicking practice shots from here in the pre-game, and the last one I saw, he hit the left-hand post. It swung that way, so he's kicking from right on 50, starts it out on the left behind post, and down there, it's going to fall short. Up for grabs, 8 or 9 players there. falls into the hands of Ainsworth, swinging round on his right with a snap across his body from the tight angle. And that is the first Carlton goal. Ben Ainsworth makes it 1-1-7 to 1 straight 6. Blues by a point. We've played 5 minutes.
A bit of coach killers, aren't there, when they're long deep and it's on the line almost to the point post that should be rushed through, or at least out of bounds. And I'm not too sure which Giants player had the football in his hands, picked up the ground ball and just handballed it straight to Ainsworth.
Ryan Angwin
was it, yeah. And sometimes he's under pressure and he's conscious, obviously, not rushing out of bounds, so he's kind of, there's a bit of pressure on him, to be fair, but it's a nice finish for Ainsworth.
He's joined the Blues from one of the other expansion clubs, Gold Coast, 158 games there, and I'm down to Carlton, and I'm at a goal a game through 14 in season 2026. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Restart in the middle. Pitnet wins the tap, holding free kick. It'll go the way of the Giants. Canelio takes the advantage, drives it deep to full forward. Dean spoils away from Cadman. Dirkson's at the fall of the ball at fullback. Handball to Haynes. A couple of former Giants combining. Clearing kick. Big fly from Daniels. The little man gets up and takes the mark. Juggles it down left half forward here for GWS. Kicks towards centre half forward and finds Himmelberg.
50?
Front of the square. Someone came from behind him and they knew they were nervous. It's just going to be beyond Himmelberg. So he kicks it to the hot spot. Tap down towards Bedford. He has a snap-on goal, but it's near side.
Had a bit more time there, didn't he, Toby? That's a gimme, really, for somebody's ability in that part of the ground.
7 apiece, 6.5 minutes in. Saturday footy here on ABC Sport.
Isn't confidence an amazing thing for you? Pete Daniels is taking hangers.
You don't see that often from Ben Daniels.
Newman, his kick dribbles out wide and Haynes has to touch it before it crosses the boundary line. In the end, I think he knocked it inside 50, so just inside the attacking 50 here for GWS. Scoreboard end of the ground.
Looking forward to seeing Cripps and Oliver, two consistent footballers the last month of football, getting after it.
Briggs palms it down in their direction. Oliver can't take it cleanly. Walsh emerges with the footy for Carlton on their back flank. Off to Newman. Snaps around the corner. And it works out nicely for Akers, who gives it to the run of Walsh. Now they're away, the Blues. Cripps loops a handball back to Walsh. To Mackay in the middle. He'll kick deep for Carlton towards McGovern. Outpointed by Iden. I think he won a free kick. He took the mark anyway. GWS with the football at fullback. Scores level 1-1-7 apiece.
He's a very impressive defender, Connor Iden. You know, if he's not in a great position, he's at least halving the contest, but on that occasion able to take the mark.
Looks to his left and finds Ash, who goes quickly to Laverty, marks inside 50. And he has to play on. Up the line in the direction of Hogan, who needs a big game at the moment. Kingsley very public, saying maybe we went too early on him. Dropped that mark, keeps it in, handballs it to Whitfield, tied up against the boundary line. Whitfield's handball is messy, and Carlton turn it over. Jagger Smith lowers the eyes. What a kick. Great delivery, and Mitch McGovern marks just inside the 50. He will kick on a very tight angle. Have his second shot for goal this game already.
They're the ones that Jesse takes, you know, the clunks, the one-on-ones that we just haven't seen. They're the ones he needs to take just for his confidence himself, but also as a player kicking it to him. The last 2 years, players are just kicking him knowing that he's going to mark him.
He's just not in the zone, is he, at the moment? Mitch McGovern, though, second shot on goal. First one was hung out to the left. This one starts a little bit straighter, but it's still hooking away, and it'll fall short. And this time the Giants don't make the same mistake twice. They punch it through for a behind. So Carlton lead by 1. It's 8-7, 8 minutes in to this clash here at the Sydney Showground. The Giants trailing the Blues.
The thing that's standing out to me at the moment, so that kick goes long to Jesse Hogan, and he doesn't take the mark. The ball hits ground level, and the Blues just have better representation and then better balance, and they're winning this handball chain game out of contest.
The Giants have turned it over. Blues with it half forward. Walsh kicking laterally. Finds Hayward. Hayward looks into the pocket for Carlton. A lateral lead. And the mark taken wide out.
Oh.
He's trying to claim that he's got it in the field of play here.
Was wide, wasn't it? We had a good angle on it, didn't we?
Yeah, Kemp turned around nervously towards the umpire as if to check, but he has been paid the mark. 40 metres out, hard up against the boundary line, right half forward.
Confident. Very confident. Tough kick from here.
He didn't look confident about the mark infield.
No.
Brody Kemp, acute angle, right half forward, drop punt, starts narrow, coming back and just missing. Couldn't quite bring it back in half. Carlton 139. GWS 117. We'll play 10 minutes opening term Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
He wouldn't be the first footballer been here to try and bluff an umpire. It's going to continue for as long as they're in the game.
Whitfield again puts himself under pressure. He went left and then just stopped. Didn't like what he saw up the line because there was a host of Blues there. One of them is Wade Dirksen, who takes a nice contested mark. Hands it off quickly to Cottrell. He lowers the eyes. Just gets it over the top of Mackay. So Giants are let off here. Oliver picks up the loose footy. Gives it to Iden. He kicks it towards Cadman, but trailing him closely. Nice defence from Dean. Ball goes out of bounds inside 50 at left forward flank. In the Blues attacking arc.
Yeah, just a bit of all sorts at the moment of kicking. That's a kick to Harvey Thomas, 1v3 from a kicking, just a planning and preparation on actually your setups itself, and probably lucky picking the wrong decision which way he's going.
Briggs swats it away. It works out for Brown, and the Giants are released off half-back to Bedford through the middle. Onto Stringer. Kicks deep. Hogan on the back lead. The ball will sit for him. Gathers in the pocket. Dribbles it home. That is the Orange Tsunami. From the back flank to the forward pocket and through the major opening. The Giants take back the lead. 2-1-13 plays 1-3-9. 11 minutes into the opening term. Ty Kennelly and Alicia Reaver.
Well, you called it, Ben. It was the first time we've really seen that tsunami from half-back today, and the ball ends up in the hands of, I think it was Toby Bedford, who uses his speed and just puts the ball out to space. Sometimes Jesse Hogan doesn't need it in the air if there's a big pocket of space he can work into, and he was unopposed. I think Wade Dirksen, an old ex-teammate of his, was fighting down there 2v1. And Hogan picks it up here, and I guess you expect AFL footballers to kick that dribble goal every day of the week. So, first show of the tsunami today. I think the Blues have been on top around contest and their handball chain game numbers. As I mentioned, they're using the ball really cleanly, Carlton. So, Giants be breathing a sigh of relief just to get one back there.
There's a lot going on with Jesse's hands. He's looking at his hands consistently. He knows, I know you put grip on your hands sometimes. There's a lot going on. He's consistently looking at him the last 5 or 6 minutes. Free
kick out of the middle goes the way of George Hewitt against Brent Daniels, who was miffed. Said he was holding me too. Hewitt straight down Route 1 to the middle, inside 50. Sam Taylor spoils Laverty. At the front was Aaliyah. Handballs to Cornelio. He was tackled, shrugged it, kicked around the corner to a one-on-one. Nice play from Callum Brown, who instead of taking possession, tapped it to Toby Green. His handball to Cornelio just hit the deck, so they turn it over in the middle of the ground here. Blues have possession. Oh, Florent burns one. No, Thomas catches him and affects the kick. Great play from Harvey Thomas. Intercept in the defence by Laverty. And he's staying down for a second here, but he took the intercept mark to stop that attack from the Blues.
So the Giants on the last two passages of play have been outnumbered in their forward 50. So right now, Jake Stringer has no opponent. So there's no Carlton defender that's actually identified that. They're just very lucky, Carlton, that they've turned the ball over in the middle of the ground.
Giants work it to the logo. Harvey Thomas goes in again, spins into trouble, caught holding the ball. So 1-1. Harvey Thomas on tackles for and against in this game. Carlton quickly work it through hands. Cottrell gives it off to Hayward, who kicks inside 50. Can't find the target. Out the back, Laverty gathers for the men in orange. Off to Angwin. Now Ash, exiting kick. Moves it towards the wing, looking for Bedford, who drops the mark but recovers quickest, and the Giants in possession again.
And he runs inboard and has the flying fin sprinting past him. Handballs forward to Callum Brown. He splits two Blues. Gives it to Thomas on his left foot out wide to Cadman, who marks still 2 kicks from goal on this western wing. On that left foot to a leading Stringer who is all on his own. Alicia Eva called it 30 seconds ago that he didn't have an opponent. He must be laughing. He ran in, took the mark, and he'll kick for goal from 40 metres.
Yeah, I was watching that play unfold, and the Carlton defenders are all playing 10, 15 metres in front of their forwards. And if that ball's in there at forward 50, that's fine. You don't need to be standing next to your forward. But as that ball's transitioning quickly, you can't afford that space. But on that occasion, Jake Stringer had no opponent.
So he lines up on a pretty serious angle. He'll kick from 42 metres. Their leading goal kicker in 2026. It's swinging back, and it's just not enough. Just to the right of the right goal post. Extend their lead to 5 points. It's 14 plays 9, 14 minutes into the first quarter.
They've got involved in the handball chain a small bit, and I don't know whether it's a high half-back being really aggressive with their ability to move the ball, and that's why they've got cut out going forward with the ball, and that turnover and a live play is really hurting them. And the rebound, it's Carlton, which allows Stringer to be deep free. But they need to be better with their off-ball run coming from the other side of the ground and the winger. And I think Harry Mackay was the one who was trying to drop back as a ruckman.
Carlton from the kick-in into a short kicking game. Now Hewitt releases Dirksen. He'll kick into the middle of the ground. Hayward does well to win it. Or does he? Gives away a free kick. So the gloved Angwin to receive it for GWS in the middle of the showground. Assesses his options. Thumps it long. Shallow inside 50. Catman outnumbered. Brings it down. Daniels roves beautifully. Off to Cornelio. Left foot shot on goal. Ugly and into the post. Ugly and nearly effective, but not quite. The Giants lead by one straight kick. 2-3-15 plays 1-3-9 quarter hour mark.
It's really smart by Cadman there. It's all the ability just to get the ball to the front of the contest. I think it was Harvey Thomas who crumbed in a lot of actual contest itself to win the contest and get the handball off the Cogs. It's good to see Cogs back also.
Newman finds Walsh inside 50, who takes his time. Doesn't like anything up the ground, so he veers to his right. Still deep in their defensive arc, Dirksen marks. Bedford offering him room in front, telling him to play on, which he does. Wide to Akers, too wide. Out on the full. Akers stuck his left arm at it, but it was in vain. Harvey Thomas has the kick, and once again there is space galore inside 50. This time the beneficiary is Jesse Hogan,
who is the direct opponent of Wade Dirksen, who did kick the ball out on the full. I mean, it is a good story, Wade Dirksen. He'd been on the Giants list 3 or 4 years.
50-odd VFL games, couldn't get a go.
Couldn't get a go at AFL level. I think he was back home in the NT when he got a call to come down and be a trainer with Carlton, and then he was elevated to their senior list. But, a few of the Giants boys would know a lot about Dirks.
He was put under pressure this week, Jesse Hogan, by his own coach in the public eye. He's kicked 1 goal in the first quarter. He can't make it 2. 2-4-16 plays 1-3-9. 7-point lead the way the home side. Giants leading the Blues as we hit 17 minutes.
He did look short of a gallop last week, Jesse Hogan. Newman with the kick in, going out very wide, and Harry Mackay working up the ground takes a nice mark. Lekalia right there with him. Lekalia only played 46% of game time last week, was doing running post game. Mackay kicks up to a contest on the wing. Off the hands of Cripps, he brings it down, but the Giants are there through Whitfield. Handball to Cornelio, backtracking at centre-half back. Feeds the handball out wide to Finn Callaghan.
On his left foot, the dangerous kick into the middle is too hot. Goes over the top, and Jagger Smith marks it. Short kick to Akers, just next to the bullseye. He unloads, likes a deep option. The run comes from the side from Taylor Byrne, but he's outmarked by Sam Taylor. And handball's off to Finn Callaghan. Thinks about the handball, throws it on his boot, and screws off the side. That might be the worst kick Finn Callaghan has ever done in his AFL career. That's out in the full. Carlton will bring it back in.
The quick kick from Evans into the pocket. Kemp marks. Got up and took it 20 out. 2 metres in from the boundary line in the right forward pocket.
I think that the turnover in the middle of the ground before, which doesn't often happen, is rattled Finn Callaghan, and then he had Lockie Whitfield handball, which got closed on, and then he was closed on the kick, so it was a
really missed his
interesting
boot.
20 seconds for him.
He's had a sider from this pocket, Brody Kemp. That was a drop punt from further out. This is much closer. Left foot snap is narrow. Same as the drop punt from further out. A couple of chances for Brody Kemp. Giants by 1 straight kick. 18 played first term.
Connor Iden in the goal square, proudly representing his Ghanaian heritage. He's done a couple of stories on it. Went back to his father's homeland in the off-season. Cultural Heritage Series game here today. Nice photo shoot during the week. He is kicking long to Lekalia, who spills the mark. Goes to ground, and Lekalia has another crack. Doesn't pick it up on first go. Smith spills it to Cornelio for the Giants. Handball forward to Brent Daniels. Might have been taken high. So a free kick to Daniels in the centre square. And he looks left and right, patiently assessing his options. The shortest one is Angwin. He finds him on the edge of the centre square. Just about every player ahead of him, Ryan Angwin. Moves out towards his left like he likes to do. Deep entry. Briggs gets rid of his opponent, rises high. Just went over the top of him, so Carlton will clear through Cowan.
Kick up towards the wing. Laverty best placed out the back. Kemp right there with him. Laverty tracks it. Handball's over his head to Taylor. Giants go back the other way. Off to Daniel. Slips over. Caught by Cottrell. Handball's out of play. Lasso free kick. Good pressure from Matt Cottrell. Inclusion this week. He wants to stay in. Lights off the kick on the 45. It's a good one for Hewitt. So Carlton in attack. Hewitt's kick Not great into the middle of the ground, but it works out. Mark taken by Hayward in the middle of the showground.
Will Hayward, bit of a different role under Fraser. He's been moved up to a wing, so he's getting a bit of ball inside 50. Delivers to Mackay, who held space and dived as he took the mark. I don't think it's been paid. Leclerc saying it was dropped. A couple of umpires don't know what to do, so they're going to play the safe game and say it hit the ground. We will have a ball up. Left forward pocket, Carlton end. Briggs taps it towards the boundary. Cadman was there first, but he spilt it. Cripps to Hayward by hand, to Cottrell by hand. It hit the deck. He got it on the half volley, and Briggs met him. Buried into the turf. Briggs, he doesn't miss when he tackles. Ball up inside 50 again for Carlton.
Briggs punches it away. Hayward takes it for the Blues, though. Off towards Stewart, who gives it back to Hayward. He's dispossessed. Regathers, though. Gets a handball away into the mark. Chera makes it his for Carlton. He'll kick to full forward, looking for a marker. Taylor's back there, drops it. Last line. Recovers for the Giants. Off to Himmelberg. Floating, clearing kick. Newman underneath it. Marks for Carlton. Wants to go quickly, too. Pokes it back inside 50. And Ison marks. So 47 out. 3 metres in from the boundary line. Very tight angle right half forward.
Yeah, just a bit of ball use from the Giants coming out a couple of times on from the D50, turning it over and getting caught in a repeat entry. It's hard to set up behind the ball when it's turned over so quickly, and little shallow kicks and your exits can hurt you, as we've seen.
So the NGA prospect playing game number 5. Right side for a left footer. His drop punt is tugged. He misses to the right hand side. Giants lead 5 points. Time on in this first term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Yeah, they got 15 inside 50s now, Carlton, 1 goal, so it's going to clean up their efficiency. Shots at goal, obviously.
It's 2-4 plays 1-5, so either team could have a 4-goal lead if they were kicking straight. Instead, both teams inaccurate. Laverty in the pocket, up the line. Brown's there as well as Briggs. Briggs gets one hand on it, parries it to himself and takes on the second grab in front of Mackay. About 80 metres from his defensive goal. Couple in from the boundary line. Long kick towards Stringer and Aliir. Aliir's all on his own. That's simple. Stringer just blocked the space. Yeah, nice Aliir took it. 80 metres out. Oh, and that's a poor kick. He was trying to go deep. Instead, it went sideways, and George Hewitt takes the intercept mark. Carlton break out the far side.
Off to Dirksen. He moves it up towards the logo. Finds Ainsworth.
They've done well to slow them up here, though, the Giants. Oh, no. 50-metre penalty.
So was it Gothard or was it Stone who was the offending party? Gothard was...
I think it was Stone, but...
Yeah. Stone sort of saunters off looking disappointed.
He's guilty, doesn't he?
Yep. The mark is set 35 metres out. Slight angle to the left.
I'm waiting to see the replay, but...
Gothard was off to the side. I'm not sure whether it was him or whether it was Stone, but either way, Ben Ainsworth. Can he take the chance for Carlton? His drop punt is missing. They've been inaccurate, the Blues. They're 1-6-12. GWS 2-4-16, a 4-point lead to the home side. 23 minutes played in the opening term.
I was going to say, it's just that pocket that's been giving them grief, where all their shots have been coming from, but that one was... little angle on it.
Giants sharing the kick outs. Himmelberg plays on and goes long. Nice mark from Leclerc. Running past him is Stone. Gets the handball and gives it to Finn Callahan. Forward handball to Toby Green. 65 metres out. They've gone end to end. He just tried to get too cute, but the free kick has been paid. Pitnet came forward. Not sure what that was for. A let-off for Toby Green.
Not too sure what it's for at all.
Jesse Hogan's by himself.
60 metres out. Green points to the pocket. He's going to deliver there towards Hogan. Oh, well done from McGovern, who was one-on-one. Hogan was so concerned with McGovern that he grabbed his arm. Free kick the way of the Blues, who are trailing the Giants by 4 points at the 24-minute mark. Saturday footy here on ABC Sport.
He did really well to get back there, McGovern, but...
He runs and jumps at that, doesn't he, normally?
Yeah. Hogan?
Yeah.
To Claremont products out of the WAFL, Hogan and McGovern.
Here we go, our weekly WA show on ABC Radio.
I like that. McGovern moves it on towards Newman, who kicks long to a contest. I've got to take care of it when Spriggy's not here. Let's go down to the boundary.
Yeah, just before Jesse Hogan went back out there, he was dealing right in front of me with a hand issue, having his pinky finger taped to another one, and it looks quite painful. I reckon it could be bothering him, so worth keeping an eye on.
Saw him biting one of his nails while he was out there as well, so he's got a little pull on one of his fingers as Carlton GWS get the clearance, but Carlton take it back through Chera. GWS by 4 points.
Maybe we should get him a fidget.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny if it was out next week, Hogan, with an ingrown? Carlton up the wing. They go inside 50. It lands short of Ison. Spilling it is Ash, puts himself under pressure, handballs into traffic. Himmelberg had two men basically attached to him. Hospital pass and tackled 55 metres out of the Carlton goal.
A bit scrappy, isn't it, the game?
Oh,
Before itself, just
scrappy, inaccurate.
Yeah.
Briggs v Pitnat. No tap. Comes the way of Carlton. Smith. He gives it to Walsh and then to Florin. Big high kick inside 50. It was landing short. Laverde read the drop of the ball best. Takes the intercept mark in front of McGovern for the Giants, who lead by 4 still. We've played 25 minutes.
I just feel the Giants had better looks at it going forward that haven't executed in the final entry. But can't have had the momentum in the front half of the ground. But the Giants defenders look very comfortable.
Inside 50s, 15-8 to Carlton.
But it still looks like they're not concerned. You do that the defenders for the Giants, I'm saying. So.
Harry Himmelberg started the game really well. Laverde's taken that intercept mark. It's just, as you said, Tig, the Giants just look messy on that last kick going inside forward 50.
Briggs brings it down from the throne on the wing. Harvey Thomas to Daniels, who tries to give it back to him. Walsh pinches it for the Blues. He's handballed away because he's back into the rubble. Thomas, he was clipped by Pitnet. Having a sneaky good year, Harvey Thomas.
Just consistent. You speak about consistency. Does everything right, that kid.
Giants ball onto Clayton Oliver to Ash, and they're moving laterally across the middle of the ground. And they've still got it on the logo here through Stone.
They've still got a +1 in their forward 50 now.
Stone
Carlton
decides
getting back, but too often, if Carlton can slow the Giants' ball movement up, it's fine. But too often, Giants are finding themselves with a +1.
Goes wide to Fonte, who delivers inside 50. Hogan this time was being held, so he will get the free kick. Dive for the mark in the right forward pocket. They're a bit too wary of him. So let's see how this troublesome hand holds up here with an after the siren shot at goal. He will start outside the field of play. It's only a 35-metre kick, but the angle is the difficulty. An inaccurate first quarter from both teams. Opens the angle just a touch, just enough on his right foot on the right-hand side. Zero angle, and he hits the post. Story of the first quarter. It'll be 2-5-17 to 1-6-12. A 5-point lead to the Giants. We saw 3 goals. The 2 to the Giants were Brent Daniels and that man, Jesse Hogan. And the solitary Blues goal, Ben Ainsworth. So 17-12 on quarter time here on ABC Sport.
So the teams combined for 3 goals 11 in an inaccurate opening term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Plenty more to come. The second term is up next.
Some chase the story.
We'll be interviewing some of Australia's most famous
And
faces.
some are the story.
Hello, beautiful people.
The piano, the assembly, and race around the world.
This is fabulous.
I loved it.
Great storytelling on ABC iView.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Marking that is Green in front. Juggled it. Well, they're not going to pay the mark. Thought he might have taken it just in front. And they're going to say that it went out. And it's a lasso free kick to Toby Green. Just beyond 50. Short kick inside. Brent Daniels is standing all on his own. Such a frustrating year for him last year. But he is settling into the midfield rotation at the moment and goes forward to kick the first goal of the day. Brent Daniels kicking from right on 50. Starts it out on the left behind post. And down there, it's going to fall short. Up for grabs, 8 or 9 players there. Falls into the hands of Ainsworth. Swinging round on his right with a snap across his body from the tight angle. And that is the first Carlton goal.
Briggs swats it away. It works out for Brown, and the Giants are released off half-back to Bedford through the middle. Onto Stringer. Kicks deep. Hogan on the back lead. The ball will sit for him. Gathers in the pocket. Dribbles it home. That is the Orange Tsunami.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
and ABC Listen.
So GWS by 5 points at the first break. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. As I mentioned, 3-11 the two teams combined for in that opening stanza. Ty Kennelly, the 2005 Premiership Swan, and Alicia Eva, the triple threat player coach analyst, to tell us how it all happened in that opening term.
Well, I'll kick us off. I mean, looking at some of the numbers here, it looks like the Carlton mids are getting their hands on it around the contest. Jagger Smith with the 10, Sam Walsh 9. And then the Giants midfielders don't really come into it until Brent Daniels with the 6 disposals. It just looks like it's a game that's kind of being rebounded across half-back. Will Hayward's been really... Well, he's been busy on the wing, and from a Giants perspective, it's all the backs that are kind of accumulating numbers, and that's because of the weight of entries Carlton had. I don't have the inside 50s in front of me. You might be able to help me out, Declan.
18-12 to the Blues.
Yeah, and in the first half of that quarter, it was mostly all Blues. They just couldn't convert the big score. 1 goal 6. They were inaccurate. A lot of the shots were coming from almost over the boundary line, so they were very, very wide shots on goal, and they weren't able to capitalise on any of that. But we mentioned it's been a bit of a scrappy game. The Giants certainly had opportunities going forward, but it was that last kick going inside 50 or that last handball that would be smothered, or they'd run themselves into trouble, or Lecalier has an opportunity to drive the ball deep inside forward 50 but turns it over in the corridor, and then Carlton go back the other way, quick rebound across half-back. So, yeah, it's an arm wrestle, but it's certainly not a pretty arm wrestle. Yeah. It's pretty scrappy.
Yeah, it is, and there's not much contest. You know, I think, what is it, 8 tackles to 7 in the game itself. I know it's a quarter of football, but there's just been turnover from both teams. You know, and the inefficiency of Carlton going inside forward 50 has been very evident. Now that's also got to be contribution of the Giants defenders and their ability to actually defend. And we saw numerous examples: Conor Ryden, Taylor, Himmelberg, obviously intercepting their ability to defend, but and the inefficiency of the Giants on their rebound. You know, Harry Himmelberg has turned over a couple, Whitfield's turned over a couple, which allows obviously quick repeat entries for Carlton. But scrappy affair. I think the Giants have messed up quite a few going forward. It looked like they're on. We've called it, and Alicia's called it out a couple of times where they've had a couple of forwards free inside their forward 50, and if the Giants are cleaner with their handballs or their ball just coming through the middle of the ground, they'll score a lot easier. And we saw obviously Jesse scoring one, running back towards goal. That clearly is a tactic for the Giants, which everyone knows about. But we saw Toby turn over one. We've turned over a couple in the Giants in the middle of the ground. So if they use the ball, the Giants a bit more efficiently, you'd think if they're cleaner, they'll score easier. We're not counting her in the contest itself as far as having some territory footy.
Just one to note, I think Kieran Briggs has been working really hard from a Giants midfield perspective. Clayton Oliver's only had the 2 disposals, so we'll have to watch a little bit closer and see if he's got a tag running with him, but he hasn't had a lot of the footy yet, Clayton Oliver.
Or Cripps, Cripps has had 5, so I don't know whether they're actually bouncing off each other. I've seen them a couple of times at throw-ins, but they're not on each other's centre bounces, but it certainly is a watch. He's been very, very consistent, if not leading the BNF for, is he on for his 5th BNF? He said 4, isn't he, at Melbourne?
Yep.
Jesus, not bad, is it?
Yep.
Adam Kingsley looks very animated on this scoreboard replay at the moment.
I spoke on the ABC AFL Daily Pod during the week, which you can get wherever you get your pods, 5 drops per week, 5 different flavours.
It's a great pod.
But 31 disposals, 8 clearances, 15 contested possessions are Clayton Oliver's averages this year. The only time he's done that for an entire year was 2022. In that year, he won the Coaches Award. So, best player according to the coaches. He was All-Australian, and he won his 4th best and fairest at Melbourne. This year, he's 14th at the moment in the Coaches Award. My theory on all of that is that in 2022, it was about contest and clearance. Now it's about speed and skill. Yep. Is that a fair 100%. Assessment as to why?
Well, that's where Daniels is in there. That's where Dacos is the value of these speedy smalls inside and centre bounce, where the game was a bit more contest orientated. The handball chain and the handball meters gains is a big part to play in that, but it has been a shift. He goes under the radars, those Cripps at times, when they're on inside under player. But yeah, it's been a shift in today's footy, hasn't it?
Certainly has. Even 2023 when Carlton made that run to the prelim, they were playing in a similar game style, but
it's a long time ago now. 4 years in footy. It's a long time in footy. It's gone.
All about damage at the moment. Second quarter underway. Giants by 5 points. Jagger Smith with the takeaway. Kick into the forward pocket here for the Blues. Gathered by McGovern. Gives it off to Kemp. Snaps it back to full forward. Ison goes up. Scored away by Fonte. Bounces back to Ison. He's got nowhere to go on a ball up. 30 out from the attacking goal here for the Blues. The scoreboard end in the second term.
Giants leading by 5 at quarter time. Dangerous spot here for the home side. Tap down. Oh, no. Fonte's gone for the big don't argue, and instead the argument has come back with interest. George Hewitt rarely misses a tackle. Fonte took on the wrong fella, and Hewitt will kick for goal 30 metres out right in front.
Had a bit to do with this man in Sydney when he was at the Swans for a while. I don't think I've seen a footballer prepare better than this man as far as what you need to do to become an AFL footballer and get the most out of himself. It's incredible the work that he does as a footballer, and there's a lot right, Georgie. Unfortunately, he's not a great set shot. So
the reigning best and fairest, who has dropped to the VFL, he's back in the main side, applies a tackle, does what he does best, and kicks the goal. We have some accuracy. Let's hope that is a taste of the second quarter. Just the 4th goal in the game. It is 2-5-17 to 2-6-18. The Blues lead by a point. A goal within 90 seconds of the second quarter.
Can you continue that thought? So what do you mean, Ty? Like in terms of physically, mentally?
Everything. No stone unturned. He will go to the end of the world to find out what's the newest innovation or creativity around what he needs to get his body ready to play the game, to recover from analysing games, analysing his own game, analysing opposition. It was almost a pain in the arse as being an assistant coach, but they're the players that you love, and hence why he's able to play over 200 games of AFL football, close to. It's Georgie played.
Yeah, 212, I think. Yeah.
Great insight. Third lead change of the match. All back up in the middle. Tap down by Briggs. Straight to Callaghan. Whistle holding free kick. It'll go to the flying fin.
Dump it in. It's a bit slow, isn't it? Gives him time, Carlton. Got some tolls on there, the Giants.
He does eventually set it up. Hogan launches at it through his hands out the back. Haynes, he fumbles it. Going in, Dean. He's dispossessed. Bedford pulls it out, gets rid of it to Cabman.
Goalkeeper.
And it's touched on the line. It was good work from Blake Acres, who can fill that role. Got a hand on it. So Carlton, they lead by... scores a level. They did lead by a point. That point draws us level. Saturday footy on ABC Sport as day turns tonight in the west of Sydney.
Ollie Florent, the ex-Swan. He's played the Giants most in his career, so this will be a formidable and familiar opponent. He kicks long down towards the logo. It's up for grabs. Fonte taps and picks it up. Handball to Ash. They get it going forward again. Oliver arrived at pace, tried to kick it onto himself. Instead, he kicked it out of bounds. So a lasso free kick to the Blues. They pull the trigger inboard.
Strong.
And Ash lets Smith know about it. He still took the mark, Smith, for the Blues. They play on.
Better hit.
Untidy play, though, and they spill it. Thomas applying pressure on Ison. Will have a ball up just inside the centre square in front of the logo here on the western wing with scores level.
Briggs swats it to the outside. Jagger Smith takes it for Carlton. Gets rid of it to Cripps. On to Cottrell. Now Hewitt. Backtracking the Blues. Eventually, Florent just swings it out wide to the wing for Haynes. He'll kick out very wide. Looking for a leading Kemp. Over the back it goes, and Whitfield gains possession for GWS, kicks back around the wing, finds Daniels. He moves it on quickly towards Stringer.
Out the back.
Stringer wheels and goes, kicks long in the Hogan direction. Broken up by Dirksen. Gets a fist on it off his knuckles, out of play. Throwing forward pocket for the Giants. Scores level, 4 into the second.
It's evident, isn't it? They're out the back a lot. The Giants just are inefficiency, get it out tight. Just actually use the ball going inside 50. That was a poor kick from Stringer where Jesse had the position, just need to get some height on it.
Inside 50 for the Giants. Pitnet and Briggs lock horns. The tap to the front. Haynes read it best. 1-2 with Billy Wilson. Kick across the face of goals was risky. It floated into the hands of a teammate, luckily. And they clear 50. Dirksen marks just in front of Fonte. Dean. Oh, no, that's a shocker. So Dirksen handballed it to a running Dean. He handballed it a metre behind him. That is a direct handover straight back to the Giants, who will look to go quick.
Fonte kicks infield, but Oliver and Hogan crash into one another. That allows in the Blues on their back flank. Akers to Smith, to Cripps, runs into the tackle. He coughs it up. Callaghan quickly back the other way, and out the back, Toby Green. He pops up out of a sprinkler head and marks, plays on, snaps, goals. GWS quickly back the other way, and it's the 4th lead change of the match. The Giants in front, 3-6-24. Plays 2-6-18, 5 into the second.
Well, really nice finish on the left foot there by Toby Green. A regular snap, we see him kicking them most game days. But look, I think Clayton Oliver's probably breathing a sigh of relief after trying to pinch a mark off Jesse Hogan. And interesting, I've been watching Clayton the last 2 or 3 minutes around the ground, and he's looking really frustrated. He gave away a lasso kick off the ground earlier in the quarter. Then there was a tackle that lingered a little bit too long, which probably should have been holding the man earlier. And then just then he's going for a footy that I don't think had his name on it. So he's looking to get involved in the game, looking a little bit frustrated. He's just got to settle, just got to go back to the defensive stuff and not give away any silly free kicks.
Walsh mans him up in the middle at the moment. It's 11th v 14th, and I think everyone listening along will go, yeah, that feels about right. Both teams been coughing it up. It's been messy. Clearance goes the way of Carlton. It's a messy one, scrappy one off the ground, but marked by Evans. He takes it just inside 50. This would test the ex-power forward. He's going to go back and back himself. So the kick will be 52 metres out. Very slight angle. Himmelberg's on the mark. So he's going to have to kick it all of 60. Running past him, Dean. Or Wilson rather, ignores that. Evans from 53 metres gives it absolutely everything to the line and gets there by half a metre over the top of Taylor. He knew he had the distance. And we have some straight kicking, 24 apiece, 7 minutes into the second term. Evans with the Blues' second goal of this second quarter. ABC Sport, Alicia Eva and Ty Kennelly.
Yeah, off nothing, wasn't it? You know, the centre bounce clearance off the ground from the Carlton perspective. You know, it's a nice finish, and he clearly knows the power he's got in his leg and his ability to actually go back, and took his time with it too. You know, he took the 30 seconds, and it was a nice finish, wasn't it? But yeah, like you said during the call, Declan, just a scrappy entry, and get the reward, Carlton, from a footballer that knows his ability. And it's the best thing about footballers. You know, you understand your ability. Some don't. Some think when they get the 50 metres they get an extra 5 metres in their legs, but he clearly knows his ability and his limitations.
Goal for goal in this game as well. Either side has been able to kick back-to-back majors. Briggs wins the tap, but Krebs goes and cleans it up. Wins a free kick as well. Bedford overzealous in the tackle. So Carlton ball. Krebs sweeps out a handball to Newman. And runs away with it. Stringer pursues, but Newman's kick up to centre-half forward off the hands of the pack. Walsh roves for the Blues. Gets it out to Wakers. He's caught. Just manages to get rid of it. The umpire lets them rumble. As eventually Ash extracts it for the men in orange. Out to Briggs, and now Laverty.
Laverty hooks that kick towards Angwin, but Hayward was there, made a good challenge of it. Ball drops for Ainsworth, just beyond 50 for the Blues. Big, deep kick towards Taylor Byrne, who's outnumbered. Himmelberg comes late in front of McGovern. It falls for McGovern, picks it up, has a shot, smothered to Evans for 2 in a row for the Blues. 2 in a row for Evans. Yes, it is. Another mistake leads to a goal. 4-6-30 to 3-6-24. Blues take the lead, and we're just going to check this one as that goal that was on the scoreboard disappears. Let's have a check. Why not? Touched. What are they looking at here?
Possibly touched.
Off Evans.
Yeah. But it was a bizarre kick, Aiden Laverty, that set this up. I'll let you call this as we see it on the scoreboard.
So we've got all 4 screens up.
Looking at the post, I think, in a minute.
Yeah, so it looks like it's cleared the defender that was in front of Evans, and that hook shot.
It's gone behind the post.
Yeah.
There's Snicko.
But I don't even think it's gone through the major opening. I think it's gone behind the post. I think it's gone through the...
Oh, there's Snicko, though.
No, that's
a
goal.
My mistake. I was getting all discombobulated.
Oh, yes. Discombobulated.
And Snicko has come up and it's registered nothing. So it should be a goal.
Back-to-back goals.
Time.
Call for it, Benny.
Discombobulated. Did you use that on the podcast?
Sometimes.
It is a goal. Francis Evans, 2 in a row for him and for the Blues. So that 6-point lead is correct. 30 plays 24 the way the Blues.
Yeah, it's a crazy decision with the ball in hand. Just kick it to the wing. And I don't know whether it's the Warrior kicking it out of bounds, the lasso rule, and Laverty with that decision. Jesse Hogan was out. Now look at their defence, the Carlton, and the lack of height that they've got against the Giants. They just got to get the ball forward and give those forwards, the Giants forwards, opportunity. Nick Newman is well undermanned on Stringer. You know, Haynes is on Jesse Hogan. They're not huge men, and you got Cadman. So you just got to stop messing around with it at times, you know, and the ability to actually just get it in. And there's a clear example there where Jesse was out again, and Laverde just looked right angles and kicked it straight across his body and creates a turnover and back-to-back goal for the first time in the game.
Really nice finish by Evans too.
Kicked 2 nice goals, isn't he?
Yeah, 5th lead change. First time today either side has kicked back-to-back majors. Pitting it down. Oliver with the clearance for the Giants inside 50. Haynes drops the mark. Ball bobbles around on attacking 50. Canelio wins it. Off to Gothard, to Oliver. Handball to Bedford, wasn't looking. Taps it back into the mark, and it's won by Carlton. Walsh, handball away to Cowan. Breaks the 50. He'll kick up to the wing for McGovern. Under pressure, doesn't mark. Is there a whistle? No. Umpire lets them play. Jagger Smith goes in. Gang tackled. Caught. Umpire crosses himself. Ball up in front of the interchange gate. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Carlton by 6 points.
It's a great tackle from Brent Daniels, who dragged him along the slippery turf. Couple of metres in from the boundary. Ball's thrown up. Briggs taps it down, then tackles Cripps where the ball went. Handball back to Chera. Throws it on the boot, but Himmelberg was the spare man. Read it first, read it best. Marks just in front of 50. Looks towards the corridor instead. Finds Whitfield. He marks about 80 from his own goal. Looks frustrated, throws his arms out, waits for a lead, and Harvey Thomas, nicely timed, skirts around Chera and marks in front of the interchange bench for the Giants, who play a bit more patient. Fans out to the left. His kick will reach 50. Cadman sets himself and leaps. A few remain on the ground. Ball hits the deck. Florent grabs it for the Blues. Wide kick, and they turn it over to Fonte.
Connor Iden, just the then. Fonte doesn't take that mark if Connor Iden doesn't lay that.
Fonte moves it on to Toby Green, chips it inside 50. Florent intercept mark for the Blues.
Top of the goal square, you got Jesse and Cadman. Just get it up to it. Or Jake, sorry, Stringer.
Back pocket, switches it for Carlton and finds Chera.
It's going to be a frustrating game from a Giants perspective, watching this inside 50 efficiency.
Opposite back pocket, so Chera then sends it to the wing, and Cripps takes a mark, just drifting in front of the pack.
Cripps having a great year after a slowish start. He's third in the comp for contested possessions. Takes that mark, and they move it forward. Ison marks, has Cripps running by him, and we might have seen a 50 here downfield. The umpire blows his whistle, and Ison, who had given the handball away, he grabs it again and gives it to Taylor Byrne. Didn't see what that was for, but he will kick for goal from 43 metres on a slight angle.
There has been a lot of free kicks in this game, hasn't there? Is it just me so far? Obviously, clearly having an influence as well with a couple of 50s. But it does feel like it's a stop-start game also with the turnovers.
The 18-year-old Taylor Byrne, who had that miss against the Pies, would have been a dream moment for him. He kicked 2 last start against Essendon. From 49 metres on his left foot, unloads, and that is always left. They extend their lead by 1. 31 plays 24. The Blues lead here at the Sydney Showground on ABC Sport. Thick clouds above as the sun sets. 13 minutes into the second stanza.
Good crowd in that. Yeah, it's a Saturday afternoon crowd. It's good atmosphere around the stadium and the precinct.
It's a great time slot. I reckon the middle slot as Himmelberg brings it in for the Giants to Canelio, gets it back, loops the handball to Callahan, who manages to get it back to Himmelberg, to Angwin, to Whitfield. Now a kick from the logo, up to half forward, very wide out, Stone marks.
Himmelberg's your one, isn't he? Looks like he's on today, so he's the one to give him some drive.
They've moved it quickly, kicks to full forward, Dirksen hands to it, doesn't mark. Dean Roves to the Blues, fullback, handball to Mackay, he's wrapped up. Nowhere to go on a ball up.
That's what we're asking for, Alicia. Sorry, Pete. That's what we're asking for. Just put it there, and there's now you've got a great position from a Giants perspective, top of the square.
And Hogan ran through that one.
Ball thrown up. Alir v. Mackay. Alir with the handball to Connor Stone out of nothing. Through traffic, weaves the ball past 3 or 4 Blues for a goal. And that gets us back to a 1-point game. We've played nearly 15 minutes. It's 4-7-31 to 4-6-30. The Blues lead by a point. Before you hear from Alicia Eva and Ty Kennelly, let's head down to Phil Pryor.
Yeah, Jaden Laverty's dealing with something in the sort of lower back, upper left pelvis region. I think it was when he took a mark in that first term, guys. You might remember he got up slowly. Maybe that impacted that decision to kick a couple of moments ago, moving the ball sideways. But he got some work done. He looks in pretty severe pain, like when he's going down and touching around there. He's popped a painkiller. He will get back out there, I'm guessing, but he's not himself.
He's probably in more pain from King as his ears than his hip after that kick. So his brain's the decision on the back of a poor hip. Not too sure, Phil, but
In the middle, Lekalia, well over the top of Harry Mackay, but he taps it down to Walsh. Carlton back the other way. Back to Mackay, hurries the kick into the pocket. Bouncing ball, wide out. Kemp runs it in. Handball back towards Cottrell, who snaps it over his shoulder. Low down, no mark for Byrne. Spills out. Taylor there for the Giants to Angwin. Angwin will kick off a step up towards the wing. Cadman coming late. Doesn't get there in time. Ball spills to the ground. Sherritt wins it for Carlton.
They come back to Florent. Low kick inside 50. He was trying to pick out Mackay, but it was at his bootlaces. So Taylor Burns there, the small doing the work. Can't pick it up. Himmelberg, his ball is turned over. Tried a handball. Frankie Evans picked it off. Lecalier tackled him. Comes loose again. Fonte picks it up. He's tackled into the ground by Cottrell. And umpire blows the whistle.
They'd be working hard to get Laverde back out there, because when he's out there, it actually frees up Harry Himmelberg. Himmelberg plays on a small and it enables him to fly in the air.
Ball up 35 metres out. Cripps was in the ruck against O'Leary. Took it out of the ruck, gave the handball, and the free kick will go the way of the home side. Whitfield has it in the left back pocket and kicks for Ash.
Ash, as he so often does, just darts away with the footy. Chips it short to Iden. Iden on the back flank here for the Giants. Carlton by a point. 5 lead changes in the game. In short ball, trying to get it on to Toby Green, sets him a task. And a ball upcoming half-forward flank for the Blues.
They've covered the corridor really well in the exits. It's Carlton defending and forcing the Giants a lot of wide exits in the half-back exits. We've seen a few of them here, and a lot of them to turn over here in this instance, but they've covered the corridor really well, Carlton.
Cripps doing the ruck work, takes it out of the ruck. Shallow entry inside 50 with his kick. Taylor can't mark. Iden goes in. Tackle to ground. Umpire wants it. Umpire Andrew Stevens zips in to ball it up. Carlton by a point, 17 played second term.
40 metres out from the Carlton goal, who lead by a point. Looking to make it 5 in a row. Nice tap there from Mackay. Comes down to Jagger Smith. High ball towards the goal square. Won't reach that point. Ison was there. Made a good fist of it against 2. Ball is still there to be won. It's in the right forward pocket. Evans, nice pickup. Handball to Walsh. Sells some candy. No, he can't. Oh, no. Just touched. Sam Walsh in the right forward pocket. That would have been something to savour. Instead, it's a behind, and it is a 2-point lead to the Blues. Approaching 18 minutes here on ABC Sport.
Old school huddle here. The kick in for the Giants.
Iden with the kick in. Kicks to Hogan, who's juggling the mark, not taking it. Dirksen pinches it off the Cripps. Kick to full forward for Carlton. Throw it away from Ison. Cripps follows up. Almost throws it out. Full forward. Kemp goes in low. Taken high. Free kick. 40 out. Slight angle to the left.
Just quickly, how often do we see Jesse Hogan take that mark? And much harder ones. He
just looks out of sorts, doesn't he, coming back from injury? And
he's still that hand, that right hand is still giving him some grief.
Bringing out that hand as he ambles off.
Disconnect with the exits, from the Giants. You can it's almost disconnect from their D50 to mid and mid forward with the ball use, that is.
Brody Kemp's had a couple of looks today, but are much more difficult than this. Virtually straight in front, slightest of angles. Boot the ball from 40. Kemp has got it. Carlton lead by 8 points, which is a game high. 19 minutes into their second term. 5-8-38 plays 4-6-30. Alicia Eva and Ty Kennelly, Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
I'm not too sure how many repeat injuries they've had this quarter and a half. They've had a lot of repeat injuries, and what I mean by that is when the Giants are coming out with the ball at their D50, they've had opportunities to send it back in. It's been very evident, and that can be put down to the Giants inefficient using the ball, but Carlton actually blocking up the corridor really well defensively when the ball's been in their F50. So in this instance, obviously it's a high free kick, but they've had lots of looks of it forward of the ball, Carlton, and they're certainly up with their pressure. Their smalls are playing. It's incredible to watch a club with at least a life on it, that the personnel hasn't changed a whole lot, but a couple of personnel changes, but their actually ability to be fresh and pressure and want and hunger is very evident in Carlton.
Lear in the ruck was a really nice defensive tap. Callahan read it well. Handballs to Himmelberg, but reading that was the Carlton defenders, so they cut it off. No, spill it. Comes back to Callahan. He turns it over. Comical stuff in the middle here. Chera is the marker, and he looks inboard to Ainsworth, who takes the grab just inside the centre square, lowers his eyes to the lead. Kemp just spills it inside 50, tracks it, brings it forward, but taps it into the direction of Oliver. He gives it to Stringer. Hands to Cornelio through the middle of the ground. Whitfield has Brown out wide and finds him. 70 metres out from goal. And all on his own, standing underneath it is Green. It just gets over the top of him. Brown missed the mark by a metre, otherwise it was Green. Set shot on goal. Ball goes out of bounds in the right forward pocket. And the Blues still lead by 8.
Well, that's the story for the Giants at the moment, isn't it? Just that final kick going inside 50. The forwards inside 50 are finding themselves with a lot of space to almost take uncontested marks. It's just that final kick. There's no polish on it.
Leah taps it to the back, but Florence waiting there. Kick smothered. Ricochets out to Callahan. Dumps it on the boot. Offline, out of bounds on the full. Helped by 8 points. 4 goals to 2 in this second term. And were the reports around the meetings at Princess Park during the week about, I think it was presented more comically than it may have actually been, but about whether they want to play finals or just develop in the second half of this year.
That first quarter with all those misses, we still didn't know. They exit T50, but it is coming straight back. Comes to Oliver, hooks one around on his left foot. McGovern led to the ball, spilled the mark in a really dangerous spot. 35 from goal. Cornelio rips it out. Gets rid of one. Handball defensive side towards Toby Green, and the inside 50 kick again is a complete miss.
You just want him to strip it right back. The game is so clunky from a Giants perspective, and it's how often you see Finn Callahan turn the ball over, Toby Green, the entry there from Brown and entry there from Daniels. The goal they kicked is kick it to the top of the square. And the better ones, you just looking for someone to be clean and effective. And today's game, the Giants on paper have got some high-end talent that are just not being clean and effective with the ball. And that's where the game has to be picked up from a Giants perspective as far as their efficiency with the ball and handling cleanliness. And if they lift, they'll take this game. But right now, it's looking very, very average, and that's the Giants' better players.
Phoenix Gothard still only with the one disposal. You kick that ball to the top of the square and it hits ground level. That's where he gets to work.
Pitnet taps it down. Toby Green barges through, gets a handball out. Now Cornelio keeps it moving forward. Akers inadvertently soccers it out. Appeals for insufficient intent. Inside 50, the umpire says no. Let me spin it back in. The boundary umpire spin it back in.
Sorry, and I don't have the stats in front of me or anything like that, but I feel like Carlton's midfield pressure has been really high this quarter.
Leclerc v Pitnet. Pitnet pushes him off. They both miss it. Ball hits the deck. Oliver to Bedford. The ex-Demons combine. Hands off to Callum Brown for the Giants. Just outside 50. He gets rid of one tackle. Tried to get a handball. It came loose. So there it is. Yeah, Carlton pressure rewarded just outside 50. Blake Akers with a nice tackle.
Yeah, but a fumble again from Brown. Like, at this level, it's just not good enough.
Long kick from 50 up towards Kemp, who is just shoved off the ball, which meant Leclerc takes a very easy intercept mark between the logo and the bench.
And the man responsible for again creating that block was Laverde, who's back out on the ground.
He'll drive it deep inside 50. Pack forms, 3 Blues there. They spoil it down. Stringer roves, dribbles, misses. Misses a lot. Across the goal mouth and across the behind, and had to play for a throw-in. Phil Pryor.
Yeah, Giants coach Adam Kingsley's made his way down to the boundary, which has been rare as far as this year is concerned, and he's getting pretty animated down there talking to players.
Leclerc leaps over the top of Pitnet, then grabs the footy, and he's tackled immediately by Hewitt. Ball doesn't come out, so we'll have a ball up about 35 metres from the Giants' goal. Blues lead by 8 points. 24 minutes into this second term. Clearance away of Walsh, but it's half smothered out towards the boundary line, and pushed over was Bedford.
I think his frustrations would be that just the lack of efficiency from him. The hits been okay, but just haven't been clean, and they've been very, very clunky. And sometimes the football, you can get a small bit ahead of yourself. You just got to get to work and simplify the game, and that's where it looks like for the Giants. You can simplify the game for a quarter and do the real basic, simple things like missing handballs like this in this instance.
Carlton by 8 points. Giants with it half forward. Oliver loops it over the top. Bedford off a step, kicks to full forward. Pack forms. Dean brings it down. Loose footy. Dirksen. Handball misses Walsh. Walsh tackled. Nowhere to go. Ball up. Full forward here for GWS. Homebush end of the ground.
Carlton certainly handling it, like you said, Alicia, and the pressure has come at him, so you've got to give him a small bit of credit too.
Umpire puts it up. Pitnet swats it away. Gathered by Stone. Left foot snap on goal. Finds the major opening. Finally. GWS find a path to goal. Dare I say it was like getting blood out of a stone. 5-8-38 plays 5-6-36. The Blues lead 25 minutes into the second term. Ty Kennelly and Alicia Eva.
I enjoyed that, Ben. Blood out of a stone. But look, he's kicked 2 this quarter. And Ty, you've been calling it all this whole quarter. If the Giants just put it to the top of the square, if they're not crumbing it and getting scoring opportunities from that, then from forward pressure they get a stoppage scenario like this. And Connor Stone, playing on a wing at the moment, finds himself running onto a loose ground ball and a really nice left foot snap finish.
Yeah, the Giants are running at 62% kicking efficiency and Carlton 60%. That's where the game's at. Two teams that obviously the position and the ladder, but that's what I was kind of calling for. Some top of the square, strip the game back. If your better ones aren't playing to the level that they should be playing, just sometimes you just need to strip it back.
Stone 2 goals in a row for the Giants, who trail by 2. We're back in the centre of the Sydney Showground. Oliver and Ainsworth. Oliver is an angry man out there at the moment, still with not many touches. Oh, what a tap. That is pure. Goes to Whitfield, and he delivers wide, just above green. Made it hard for him, and Cowan arrived late. And in trying to pick up the ball next to the boundary line, Connor Stone toes it over. So Lockie Cowan to bring it back in for the Blues.
Still haven't kicked back-to-back majors in the game, GWS. Blues work it down the wing. Walsh to Chera to Ison. Very wide out. High half forward. Carlton by a couple of points. Ison veers out. Chisels it into the pocket. Up goes Hayward. Off his hands, out of play. Right forward pocket here for the Blues. 2 points to the good. Under 5 minutes away from half-time. Virtually nightfall here at the Sydney Showground now.
Will Hayward averages a goal and a half against the Giants. Another one of those ex-Swans that have played the Giants more than any other team. He's sniffing around here inside forward 50 for Carlton. Tap down, Oliver with a nice contested win there. He's working into his game, but it spills to Will Hayward on his right foot. It's curving too much. Misses the whole thing. Bounces just before the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in to the left of the left behind post in the Carlton attacking 50. They still lead by 2. 27.5 into the second.
From a Giants perspective, Leclerc's gone down as the deepest forward, so you don't often see him there. Hogan's off the ground.
Riggs slaps it down. Thomas coming through, exiting kick. High ball. Leclerc launching at it. Punched away by Dirksen. Spills out for Brown, though, who turns and goes for the Giants. Kicks up towards Cabman. Marking contest. McGovern outpoints him. Blues ball on the wing. Infield to Hewitt, or Newman rather, who chisels it out wide for Akers. Just bundled over there by Leclerc. Now he runs out to his right. Kicks inside 50 for the Blues. Looking for Mackay. Out the back. Kemp coming at the footy. Bounces off his chest. Out of play it goes. Throw in 45 around from the attacking goal for Carlton.
Hogan back out on the ground now for anyone who's worried about his hand.
Cripps circling around this contest. It'll be Briggs v Pitnet in the ruck. So their A-graders go at it. Pitnet, the tap to Akers. Outside 50, handball to Walsh, who goes left and then swings back onto his right with a high ball towards the goal square. This would take a mark. Hayward got rid of Iden and marks 15 metres out in front of goal.
It almost looked like he was waiting for a teammate to come over the top there, Connor. Rarely do you see him beaten in a 1v1. I think he was expecting. You can see there's a bit of chat now going on between the defenders.
He averages a goal a game this year. He averages a goal and a half against the Swans across his career. Swings around on his right and kicks another Carlton major. So that lead is back out to 8 points as we near 30 minutes here on ABC Sport. It is Saturday footy, and your experts are Alicia Eva and Ty Kennelly.
No, you're right, Ty. Even as that ball came off Sam Walsh's boot and it was sky high, I was thinking to myself, that's not the kick Carlton want tonight, because Harry Himmelberg has been taking those intercept marks, or Laverde. So Connor Iden looked like he was staying ground level to kind of lock his man out. No one flew for it, and in the end, Hayward takes him up.
Sometimes you just got to do that. Just get it in there, ugly as it is. You win your 1v1s, and if you can engage the defender, obviously it doesn't allow him to drop off, like you said, Alicia. So we'll play Carlton. The pressure, they probably deserve it as far as the half is concerned.
Makes it a 10-game streak with a goal, at least a goal against GWS for Hayward. Out of the middle, Cripps. Handball back to Pitnet, who goes back to Cripps.
Oh, sorry, Benny. Carlton, Giants, that is.
Toby Green went into that last CB too.
Cripps kicks inside 50. Mackay can't mark. Roving there neatly. McGovern snaps it to full forward. Ison can't mark. Under pressure though, Ash coughs it up. Ainsworth hurries it on goal across the face. Bounces through for a behind. New game high lead for Carlton, 9 points. Closing in on halftime.
Yeah, you get the sense that halftime can't come quick enough for the Giants at the moment. They just look a little bit disorganised across the ground, as you mentioned, getting beaten convincingly at centre bounce. They're moving some magnets around. They just need that siren. Discombobulated.
I said pumped. Yeah, it's a bit easy. It's a better word, isn't it? Discombobulated.
Iden works it to Whitfield, then to Fonte. And he says, nothing ahead forward. I'm going to go back to the goal square to Iden. Dare I say it, does it look like a few players have been out there up since 5 a.m? The skills are a bit off, maybe a bit fatigued watching the football this morning. They exit 50 just with a hit and hope. Off the ground is Brown, who picks it up and is tackled over the line by Akers. There's a lot of football fans in this Giants team, isn't there?
There sure is.
How many would have been up early out of the 23?
23.
23, yeah.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff.
Get to sleep all week.
Trying on the wing, Briggs brings it down to Oliver and gets rid of it to Callahan, who's retreating. Works it out by getting it to Stone and moves it on to Toby Green. Lifts the handball to Oliver. Handball for Brown. Brown slips over. Hewitt goes in for Carlton. Hurries it to himself, then wins it. Does really well. Gets it off to Cripps. And backward of the wing, though, the Blues. Back to Cowan. Dump kick that works out. Mark taken by Newman. Newman looks up for a leading Mackay. Half volley, nice pick up, but tackled quickly. Taken to ground. All up. I did hear, we had Josh Rochelle last week, and Corbin Middlemass asked him post-game, how would the coach feel if the players got up for a 5 a.m. game? He said that's pretty self-explanatory. And he spoke to us post-game today, and he said he did get up for it, or he's woken up by his brother, and he ended up watching it. So
clearance away the Giants, but it's going to come right back in. That is touch number 20 for Cripps, who lowers the eyes. What a kick on his left. Marking 30 metres out in front of goal is Kemp. Patrick Cripps is having a game.
I'm sure he only had 5 to quarter time. Is that right? So he's obviously lifted his efficiency, and you'd nearly got Oliver. Let's go, mate.
Brody Kemp round the corner, hooks it too far. He threw his head back as soon as he kicked it, misses a chance to take it to a game-high lead. I mean, it still is, but it's only 10 points. And the way the Blues, 46 plays 36. 33 minutes have elapsed in this second term.
Go head-to-head, I'm saying Oliver and Cripps, might get Oliver a bit of a feel of it. He won't like it, but at least they should go at it, the two of them, and try and quieten Cripps.
Take him to the ball at the moment. Anyway, Cripps, 14 disposals, 4 clearances, 6 contested possessions in this quarter, 4 inside 50s.
Wow.
Oliver is 10 through this quarter, so he's lifted too.
Ash shorts it to the defensive arc here for GWS, Himmelberg.
Just getting caught here all the time, the Giants, with the ball movement. And Carlton defensively, I keep saying it, this quarter's been outstanding, slowing the Giants up, and we haven't seen much of the tsunami handball, but sometimes you got to take the bull by the horns and just go for it.
Himmelberg to Laverty, contest kick to the wing, and Dirksen flying in, juggles down the mark. Carlton by 10 points. Dirksen comes out wide for Blake Akers. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Akers infield kick. Good one for Ainsworth. Maybe time for one last attacking foray here for the Blues in this first half. They lead by 10.
Kick into the corridor. Hewitt has it 80 from home. He marks in the middle of the centre square. Deep kick. 6 or 7 fly. The fist of Himmelberg is highest. Comes down, though, the way of Patrick Cripps. It's been a big quarter. Oh, it was nearly a huge one. Fonte on the line playing goalkeeper. Tapped it over the bar for a behind. And it is an 11-point lead at the moment, nearing 35 minutes. Blues up 6-11 to 5-6.
Giants just looking a little bit frustrated. As I mentioned, halftime needs to come quickly if you're wearing orange.
Ash brings it in, and that will do it for the first half. So Carlton kicked 5 goals to 3 in that second term. The Giants haven't been able to string back-to-back majors together in the game yet with their 5 goals. So the goal kickers for Carlton, 2 to Frankie Evans, singles to Hewitt, Hayward, Kemp and Ben Ainsworth, while for GWS, 2 to Connor Stone, singles to Toby Green, Brent Daniels and Jesse Hogan, who has looked out of sorts 6:11:47. Carlton leading GWS 5-6-36. The Blues by 11 points. The main break. Ty Kennelly and Alicia Eva. How did they do at the Blues to have that 11-point lead?
Well, how did they do it? I thought, in terms of the contest, centre bounce. Now, you might have to help me again, Declan, because the stat screen's too far away from me, but we called it early.
5-3 centre bounce clearances, and in terms of clearances overall, 14-12.
Okay,
That's for this quarter.
So it's not a blowout by any means, but it's looking like the clearances are actually leading to goal scoring opportunities from a Carlton perspective, certainly early in that quarter. From a Giants perspective, it's the inside 50s. Like, I think the Giants head into half-time thinking it's only an 11-point deficit. They've been scrappy. There's been missed handballs. There's been missed shanked kicks. There's been, they've been falling over out on this wing. Sorry, Cal Brown. It's almost looked like kind of rushed football, trying to play a Giant system. But as Tig was saying early in the piece, maybe you just need to simplify and strip it right back until you start winning a little bit more of the ball and get a bit more of the ball in hand and allow the forwards to set the ground up, allow, just to kind of think their way through Carlton's defence a little bit more too. I think Carlton, their pressure from the eye test, their midfielders really went to work. They put pressure on the Giants midfielders. You saw Finn Callahan miss a few handballs and kicks early, and he doesn't typically do that. Then you saw a few missed kicks going inside 50 because Giants players they thought they were under the pump. They actually had more time than what they thought, but that's a product of the Carlton midfield pressure. So, and I thought Carlton, they capitalised. They hit their set shots early in that quarter. Evans kicks 2 goals. Goes back, takes his time, and then kicks that nice snap. They just capitalised on the opportunities then, Carlton.
And just a better player from the Giants aren't getting their hands on the ball. Like Clayton got going there a small bit. So I think it was 8 or 9 in that quarter itself. But you need your better players and your midfielders. It's 8-4 centre bounce clearances Carlton's way, and that's not a team with it. You look at the quality of the Giants midfield. I know that consistently have had problems this year, obviously with Daniels in there, and you put Cornelio and Green's gone in there this half of football. So the game starts there straight away. You can see the goal, and it's the part of the ground you can get right, get some front half football and set the ground up. And the Giants are getting beaten comprehend. 8 goals, 8-4 centre bounce clearances. That puts your defence under pressure. That's one part of it. And then in the D50 exits, the part of it is Carlton's ability to defend the ground has been really good, and just the Giants just not taking the bull by the horns at times in the back half, and they seem to be doing that in the front half. They're playing almost reverse as how they should be playing the game itself, taking the game on and getting Lockie Ash, Whitfield, just taking a bit more risks in the back half of the ground and a bit more composure in the front half, which can strip the game back. They've gone the other way about it, and that's just a part of, I think it's been the season almost for the Giants, how clunky they've been all year, and this is another example of how clunky they are, and pressure, like we said, throughout the game to Carlton's pressure. Credit to Carlton with their pressure in the first half of the game. But some quality players. Now, Cripps is clearly lifted in the second half of that game, and the medium small forwards has been a standout for me as well. They've created opportunities and they've kicked straight, as you said, Alicia, and Kemp's been one obviously that has done that.
And I'm just looking at Lockie Ash. Typically, running off half-back defender, and you would expect his metres gained to be quite significant. What's he at for that quarter? Only 84 that quarter, so he's not getting ball in hand. He's not taking territory, and Lockie Whitfield. So Carlton have done a really good job slowing the Giants down across half-back. It's meant that they've kicked the ball long down the line, and I would suggest Carlton are winning that contest, those contests in the air.
Put it with Jesse's ability not to win it, so that's one forward that's out from an LDL perspective. Yeah, you're right, Alicia.
So it's interesting that the Giants really need to get their ball users going off half-back so they don't have to kick long down the line, because right now Carlton are just showing up in greater numbers at the contest, or they're just being cleaner at the contest, and that ball's coming straight back in. And we did say late in that quarter, the Giants defenders looked under the pump. They looked frustrated with each other. They were expecting someone to come across and help out in the air, but that wasn't happening. So the Giants started the game really nicely, but just to end that the last 5 minutes of that second quarter, they looked in disarray.
The thoughts of Ty Kennelly and Alicia Eva on Saturday footy, I should say, on ABC Sport. Carlton leading by 11 points at the main break. 6:11:47 plays 5:6:36. Still to come later tonight, Port Adelaide taking on Collingwood. So that's coming up with Corbin Middlemass and the team from the MCG later this evening. But right now, with the Blues 11 points to the good, we can pause and get the latest from the ABC newsroom.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. Western Australia's Chief Veterinary Officer says it could be months before authorities are able to determine whether a deadly strain of bird flu has become established in Australia. 2 birds found near death on a beach in WA's far south have returned a positive result for avian influenza. While authorities are not sure if the disease has spread to native wildlife, it has the potential to cause mass die-offs in animal populations. Dr Michelle Roden says Western Australia is leading a national working group monitoring susceptible wildlife populations, particularly along the southern coastline.
We've already started on some of that surveillance, but what we will be doing is looking at the interactions with our wildlife along that coastline and where we need to do some targeted surveillance.
The Prime Minister says his government will make a decision on whether to extend the cut to the fuel excise in the coming days. The temporary 50% cut was introduced to lower prices as Australia felt the effects of the war in the Middle East, but it is set to expire at the end of this month. Anthony Albanese says there's more fuel in Australia now than there has been since 2023, and more is on the way.
I can announce that Export Finance Australia has secured with the private sector an additional 50 million litres of diesel, and that this shipment is now headed for Port Botany. Since February, the figures of securing nearly 800 million litres of diesel.
US Envoy Steve Witkoff and Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi are both reportedly heading to Switzerland for talks as the ceasefire in Lebanon appears to revive efforts to turn an interim Iran war pact into a lasting regional peace deal. Larry Buttrose has more on this story.
The US Axios News Service reported the 2 top officials are bound for Switzerland to begin talks. Israel and Hezbollah agreed to a ceasefire in Lebanon yesterday after escalating fighting cast doubt over US-Iran talks critical to reopening the key Strait of Hormuz. The memorandum between the US and Iran halts fighting for another 60 days, while complex issues such as Iran's nuclear program are negotiated. However, it stipulates fighting must stop in Lebanon too, and so far that seems to be continuing, with the Lebanese state news agency reporting at least 5 people killed in the latest Israeli airstrikes in southern Lebanon.
A spokesperson for Melbourne's Federation Square says it remains confident in its suitability as a public venue, despite the actions of a small number of individuals marring this morning's World Cup viewing. Thousands of Socceroo fans packed the site early today to watch Australia take on the USA, going down 2-0 with both goals coming in the first half. Police say a 16-year-old boy was spoken to in relation to an alleged sexual assault of a woman, and 14 flares and 1 firework was set off before the match started, resulting in 2 arrests. The Fed Square spokesperson says the overwhelming majority of attendees behaved well and that this morning's operations will be reviewed with police and other authorities. Meanwhile, 2 men have been charged after another man was hit in the face with a flare at a World Cup watch party at Sydney's Darling Harbour. Sean Terrick-Goodwin has more.
Several flares were lit in the crowd at Tumbalong Park, where hundreds of people had gathered to watch the Socceroos playing against the USA this morning. Officers say a 20-year-old man was hit in the face with a flare. He was treated by paramedics for burns and taken to St Vincent's Hospital for further treatment. 2 20-year-old men were arrested at the event and charged with lighting flares in a public place. They were both granted bail. Police say investigations are continuing.
Nations in Africa and the Caribbean are demanding formal apologies and compensation from countries that profited off the centuries-long transatlantic slave trade. It follows a conference in the West African nation of Ghana, as the BBC's Anbarasana Thirajan reports.
The conference followed a landmark UN resolution in March that recognized transatlantic slavery as the gravest crime against humanity. It urged African countries to grant the right of return and citizenship pathways for diaspora Africans. Organizers said the aim was to turn growing international support into concrete action and lasting institutional commitments. More than 12 million Africans were kidnapped and forcibly transported by European ships between the 15th and 19th centuries.
And Alex de Minaur's hopes of joining the Australian Roll of Honour at the Queen's Club Tennis Championships have been scuttled by American Brandon Nakashima. This is ABC News.
Meet the builder of dreams.
It's a great honour to be leading Tasmania's new football club.
Sam Pang's brand new office comedy, Ground Up.
Time to make a little history.
Ground Up. Stream all the episodes now on ABC iView. The biggest stars in the women's game
Harmanpreet Kaur launches this all the way for 6.
are lighting up your winter nights.
Down the track comes Mooney. Cover drives to the boundary.
As ABC Sport brings you the ICC Women's T20 World Cup.
Big 6 from Phoebe Litchfield.
And it's not just a win, it's a statement by Australia.
Every game live and uninterrupted on ABC Listen. Just look for the cricket button.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Akers to Smith, to Cripps, runs into the tackle. He coughs it up. Callaghan quickly back the other way. And out the back, Toby Green. He pops up out of a sprinkler head and marks, plays on, snaps, goals.
Ainsworth just beyond 50 for the Blues. Big deep kick towards Taylor Byrne, who's outnumbered. Himmelberg comes late in front of McGovern. It falls for McGovern, picks it up, has a shot, smothered to Evans for 2 in a row for the Blues. 2 in a row for Evans. Yes, it is.
Umpire puts it up. Hitting it, swats it away, gathered by Stone, left foot, snap on goal. Finds the major opening. Finally, GWS find a path to goal.
Hitting it, the tap to Akers. Outside 50, handball to Walsh, who goes left and then swings back onto his right with a high ball towards the goal square. This would take a mark. Hayward got rid of Iden and marks 15 metres out in front of goal. Swings around on his right and kicks another Carlton major.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
So Carlton leading by 11 points at the main break. GWS yet to kick back-to-back majors in the game. Carlton kicking 5 goals to 3 in the second quarter. We had 5 lead changes from the first term to midway through the second quarter, but Carlton in control or leading from that point onwards to get to the break by 11 points. Just some of the other scores from around the place. If you don't want to know the score of World Cup matches, they've happened a long time ago now, but you might be planning to watch it back tonight. Socceroos and USA earlier this morning. USA 2-0 over the Socceroos earlier today as well. Brazil 3-0 over Haiti and Morocco. 1-0 over Scotland. And the game that was important for us, Paraguay, they defeated Turkey 1-0. So virtually guarantees our path through to the next stage.
Which will be the 3rd time ever.
Yep. So, I mean, if we win or draw against Paraguay, we're guaranteed to go through. But, against Paraguay. But if we were to lose by a goal to nil or something of the like, we would likely advance as one of the third place teams in their group stage. Also, Ned Hall was watching it all for us, and the Socceroos' path to that knockout stage of the World Cup has become clearer despite that loss to the United States in Seattle. Here is Ned Hall's report.
So after all 4 games on day 9, we now know what's required by the Socceroos. A draw on Friday against Paraguay would secure 2nd place in the group. The South Americans beat Turkey 1-0 to send the Turks home. And more on that game, which was a bit cray-cray, later, but it ensures that Australia cannot finish lower than 3rd in the group, and the 3 points they have in the bag could be enough already to go through. But on to the Socceroos game. After the dizzying heights of last Sunday's win against the Turks, they came crashing down to earth with a 2-0 defeat against the USA. At a raucous and jam-packed stadium in Seattle, the crowd were treated to a low flyover from 4 Black Hawk helicopters and it seemed to blow Australia off course. Former Socceroos goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer, talking to ABC Sport Daily, reckoned the occasion played a factor.
Playing a home nation, we've never done that before. That occasion slightly got the better of us. However, the second half was certainly more positive. I think we would have been more effective in the second half if Motorhead had stayed on.
Both of last week's goal scorers, Nestori Irankunda and Conor Metcalfe, started on the bench, and those playing struggled to get into the game. The host took the lead deservedly after 11 minutes when Folarin Balogun got in behind the Australian defence. His cutback caused centre-half Cam Burgess to miscue and knock the ball into his own net.
Here's a good run. Balogun on the burst. Near post, and it's in for the United States. The opening goal to the co-hosts. Australia were caught out of the near post. No chance for Patrick Beach.
Australia had a brief response and then spent most of the rest of the first half on the back foot. It would have been a good result to get to half-time at only 1-0 down, but the US added a second just before the break.
It is Robinson's left foot. It's square. A training ground move. And a deflection is wicked. It's in for the US, but the flag is up. It won't count.
The goal scorer was not in an offside position.
The goal will count for the United States.
Goalscorer Alex Freeman was onside, but Balogun was off, and despite sprinting in towards the goal, was deemed not to be interfering with play. As the great former Derby County manager Brian Clough said, if you're not interfering with play, what are you doing on the pitch? Half-time saw Irankunda, Metcalfe and Jason Guerrier thrown on, and it had the desired effect. The Socceroos were in the game far more and created plenty of second-half chances, but nothing conclusive. Coach Tony Popovich was pleased with the response at the break.
You can easily cave in under the pressure, physically, emotionally. We responded extremely well. So I'm really pleased with the second half, and it would have been nice to get a goal in those moments that we had to just see what could happen next.
Now, a bit to unpack from the other game in the Socceroos group. Matthias Galazzo put Paraguay in front after just 64 seconds, the fastest goal in this World Cup. Turquia then dominated possession before another World Cup first. Paraguay midfielder Miguel Almiron was shown a red card for covering his mouth, a new rule at this World Cup to cut out discriminatory comment being shielded from the cameras. It was largely one-way traffic in the second half. Turkey had almost 80% possession, 32 shots, but no goals. Home they go. And in today's other games, Brazil outclassed Haiti 3-0, while Scotland's wait to reach the group stage at a World Cup goes on after a 1-0 defeat to Morocco. Sunday's games see the Netherlands play Sweden, Germany take on Côte d'Ivoire, Ecuador plays Curaçao, and Tunisia plays Japan.
There is Ned Hall bringing you up to date with everything taking place in the FIFA World Cup. Looking forward to the continuation of all of that. It is Saturday footy on ABC Sport, round 15 from the Sydney Showground. Carlton leading by 11 points, 6-11-47, plays 5-6-36. Alicia Eva, what do you think the message would have been from Adam Kingsley at the main break to these Giants to get them back into the game?
Look, I think there would have been a conversation around we need to reset. Use this halftime break to reset and clearly understand what is our role in this giant system right now, because the last 5 minutes of that quarter, across all lines, it looked like there was a bit of frustration, a little bit of disarray, and credit to Carlton, because they turned up the pressure in that quarter and they executed their fundamentals better than what the Giants did. It just, to me, feels like the Giants are lucky that it's only an 11-point deficit. They had their chances going inside forward 50 in the start of that quarter, and they were really wasteful. And then from then on, they couldn't get the ball out of their back half. So the Blues were winning it out of centre bounce. They were taking territory. They were looking really lively at ground level inside their forward 50. They were winning free kicks. They were taking marks. And their better players were rising to the top. Paddy Cripps had an outstanding quarter, 15 disposals in that quarter, and 4 score involvements alone in that quarter. So he really got going. From a Giants midfield perspective, Clayton Oliver got himself involved, but 0 score involvement. So he's handballing the ball, he's getting it out to the outside runners, but the outside runners are turning the ball over, or they're not running, or they're taking it to contests that Carlton are winning. So Kingers would have looked at some of his leaders and said, I need you to step up. He would have looked at his midfield and said, I need you to step up. I need someone to take responsibility for Patrick Cripps, and I need to see a better performance in this second half, or else this game and potentially this season gets away from us.
Yeah, good old-fashioned and spray. Go back to what you did, and there's only so many times you can do it, but you got to look these guys in the eye sometimes as far as what you want to get out of your football club and your team right now. This seems like the real crucial moment in the season on the back of what happened with St Kilda and the talk of winning back-to-back games after your boy and coming home in the back end of the season. It ain't good enough, and you almost want them to go down swinging. They're playing in between the joints. They're not playing quick. They're not playing fast. They're just playing in between. And to be fair to Carlton, it looks like it's their game. And so the Giants are very, very lucky they're not playing a top 6 team, because this game will be well and truly over.
All right, set to go in the third quarter. It is an 11-point lead the way of Carlton. Hewitt will get the first clearance. Handball to Pitnet. Forward handball to Cripps. He waits and waits, has Walsh running past him. Handball misses him, which puts Walsh under pressure, and Brent Daniels has arrived in the third quarter with some intensity. Tackles him, balls come loose, and Oliver picks out not only the loose ball, but then kicks it straight to Stringer. Just on the defensive side of halfway. Kicking right to left on your radio dial, up towards Cadman. Nice spoil at the back from the youngster Dean. Comes to Dirksen. He tried to kick that underground, and Angwin trying the smother. Used his boot, and it's gone out. So a lasso free kick to Dirksen, who chips it over the top to Cowan.
Cowan marks. Just holds it up momentarily. Tight ropes the boundary line. Kicks to a contest. Off the hands of Taylor. Ball ricochets on, and in the end, Laverty carries it out, goes for an extra bump on Mitch McGovern. Full nightfall here in the west of Sydney now, 5:45 p.m. in the depths of winter. Tomorrow be the solstice.
Oh, yeah?
Wouldn't it?
Having a nudie swim, Ben?
Wouldn't have thought so.
Okay, all right.
No one needs that. As Callaghan gets the kick up towards the wing, gathered by Oliver, hurries a kick up towards half forward, bouncing ball. Cowan takes it, spins out of trouble. Blues ball on their back flank. Handball to Wilson. Forward handball to the run of Walsh, and they might be off the Blues.
They're away through the middle. Oh, the handball misses the target. Chera picks it up. Second bounce. Steps backwards to avoid Angwin. He's in the centre square. Kicks it deep towards that challenge that we saw before. It's a good matchup. McGovern v. Laverty goes over the back of both, and cleaning up is Lockie Ash, although he kicks it to a 1-on-3 against. So Gothard lost that battle. Carlton back inside 50. Cripps just missed him. Hits the ground. Frankie Evans has 2 goals. Nah, he's got 3 from 35 metres out. No pressure around him. Snaps on the right foot. And the first goal of the third quarter goes the way of Carlton. 7-11-53 to 5-6-36. It's a turnover goal again. Carlton leading by 17, 2 minutes into the third quarter. Alicia Eva, Ty Kennelly.
Yeah, forward half turnover to goal. Yeah. It was just the wrong option, trying to hit up Phoenix Gothard in the middle of 3 Carlton defenders. He potentially should have gone longer to Harvey Thomas on the wing, who had a little bit more space. But Carlton, they've got their tail up. They're maximising now. In the first quarter, they were really wasteful in front of goals, and now they're capitalising.
It's going to happen at some stages if you get this many opportunities as well, But again, Lockie just took the wrong decision in that instance. And it was almost laconic once that turnover. Laverty didn't take the game on straight away. Just held the ball, took his time. Just go and bite it, like I keep saying, bite the bull by the horns and take it on.
Carlton by a game high 17. Walsh getting after it at ground level. Gives it off to his running mate, Cripps. Bounces the ball up to half forward. Whitfield takes it. Giants ball. Off to Angwin. On to Daniels, and now Callaghan. All of that by hand. Callaghan breaks it up with a kick. Inside 50. Hogan flies. Dean from the side. Takes the mark for Carlton.
Defending in front, really strong from a young footballer, obviously with 2 key forwards behind them, and they've done that all day as far as setting up in front of the Giants, the forwards, that is the Carlton defenders.
They go back to go forward. Newman gives it to Dirksen, hands off to Hewitt, and he fans out all the way to the far wing. It's marked by Hayward, who plays on quickly, looks inboard. There's still 2 kicks from home. Nice mark from Ainsworth, edge of the centre square. Plays on quickly. He'll send it long. Can they find a mark? Look who's free. Oh, no, just short of it was Cottrell. It spills to the front. Giants had possession for a moment. It comes loose, though. Picking it up, the loose footy. Is that a goal from the left forward pocket out of nothing? It is. It is Cottrell who missed the original mark. The ball just fell in his lap. He kicked the goal and stood there and looked around like, how good is this? In for just his third game, Cottrell extends that lead to 23 points. It is 59, plays 36.
Great defending from Taylor, but Fonte just coughs the ball up for no reason. This is the thing, the terminology we used to have is a ball is a piece of gold in your hand, but just didn't want to take the player on, coughs the ball up, nice hands, and a beautiful finish in a really tight position. That's two basic turnovers with the ball in your own hand from a Giants perspective. And again, it's another forward pressure tackle. It's 10 forward pressure tackles from the Carlton forwards inside your forward 50, which is a huge return.
It's a real danger period for the Giants right now. This centre bounce becomes critical.
Game high lead of 23 points right now to the Blues.
Last 3 goals in the game. First time tonight either side's done that. The Giants haven't kicked back-to-back goals. Briggs takes it out of the ruck, gets a kick moving forward, but Wilson wins it for the Blues. They're back in the middle of the ground. Little 1-2, Ainsworth. Back to Wilson, bouncing handball to Florent. Has the run of Cowan through the logo. Kicks out very wide for Evans, and Fonte punches it out of bounds on the full. So it's already out on the full. The free kick will go to the Giants, Phil Pryor.
Giants defender Jaden Laverty, he's done for the day. He just had his right hamstring assessed. Ice is being applied right now, so it's not official yet, but he's not coming back on.
Did have that hip injury earlier on as well. The kick up to the wing from Fonte, a turnover. And Cowan takes it back for the Blues.
He's been such a good recruit, Laverde. Everyone's noticed Oliver, but he slotted down back. So that is a big out, especially with Buckley not there as well. Carlton have it in their back half. Haynes kicked it to Hewitt. It was short of him. He picked it up cleanly, goes back to Haynes, and then they swing it out to the eastern wing. It's with Newman. Chips off a nice kick. Under pressure on his left foot. Marking is McGovern. They're out here. Carlton. Akers kicks it to him, who marks 60 metres out. Left forward flank for the Blues. Game high lead at the moment of 23. He waits, and Hayward leads, and he picks him out.
It's embarrassing what's happened. The ability to actually disconnect from the LDL, and then just Carlton. The lack of defence from the Giants footballers and actually want to return it back, get it back, is very, very poor. And it's as hard as aggressive I'll talk about the team, because there's a disinterest in wanting to defend. And when that happens, it shows there's a want and desire to win the game, isn't it, when you don't want to defend?
On a slight angle from just beyond 50, Will Hayward, a slow approach, then he speeds it up, and then he handballs it instead of kicking to Newman, inside 50 on his left. It's the tougher angle, and it is near side. So a miss for Carlton, 8-12-60, 5-6-36. New game high lead is 24 points the way of the away side. Blues lead 7 minutes into the third.
Yeah, you're right, Tig. The Blues are just finding uncontested mark after uncontested mark and just moving the ball far too easily down this NG Stadium.
Arden brings it in to Fonte, who finds Hogan, working it down the wing. Whitfield away to Thomas. His kick over the head of Stringer, but he brings it down. Daniels bursts onto it. Coughs it up. Blues ball through Pitnet on their back flank. Handball to Dirksen. Away to Cowan, and now onto Akers. The Blues running it down the wing.
Yeah, they're away, and then Ainsworth thought, I'm going to cut it back inside. I don't like anything, and it was a great option because he moved through the middle of the ground. Hayward mark, gave it to Walsh, now to Hewitt, back to Walsh, front edge of the centre square for the Blues. Handball over the top to Wilson, just in front of him. That passage of play, which was looking so smooth, breaks down, and the Giants will rebound through Gothard. Hands it off to Ash, past the logo. He's got Green inside 50. What a late spoil from Nick Haynes. Had to make up metres late. He did it, and not only made up metres, but didn't infringe. Punches it over the boundary line at the right forward pocket for the Giants.
Tig, help me out here. I feel like the Giants forwards need to start, they want it out the back a lot. They need to start defending and coming up the ground, because the Blues half-backs are just handball receiving.
They're turning them.
Yeah.
They're defending in front, and then you're just too far away from the ball, and there's not disconnect when you actually have the ball as a forward line coming forward. That's the Giants. But you're right.
Carlton by 24, and they come away with the footy off their back flank. Chera stops, props, kicks around the wing, nobody there.
They look too tall forward of the ball now, the Giants. No speed.
So Sam Taylor takes the mark for GWS. Twin half back in the wing. One of the Martin and Angus stand. He'll kick up to half forward. Hogan competing. He can't take the mark. Right there with him. Fighting after it, Dirksen. He goes again at ground level. Dragged in, umpire says. Holding the ball. The free kick will go the way of Dirksen, and Harvey Thomas is the man pinged at the bottom of the pack. So Carlton take back the footy. They lead by 24 points, 9 played in the third.
Cowan from true full-back, fans out to his right, and George Hewitt on the lead marks. Calls a player in front of him for the lead. It didn't arrive. He chipped it back in board inside 50, and Dean takes a strong mark in front of his opponent. Stringer arrived late, took it under pressure. Handball running past to Cowan on his right foot. Down the line. Pitnet's going to arrive late. He won't get there in time. It's an intercept mark from Fonte for the Giants. He thought about going, and instead they're going to go backwards to Whitfield.
It was an intercept mark for the Giants because Jake Stringer actually put chase pressure on that ball coming out of their forward 50. So the Giants forwards need to defend, and then they can create those turnovers and force Carlton to go long down the line.
Whitfield bites off a kick to Oliver on the logo. He gives it to the dash of Fonte. Kicks inside 50. Toby Green out of position. Got to it. Doesn't take the mark. Harvey Thomas roves. High border full forward. Cowan spoils. Back pocket for the Blues. Cabman comes over. Bedford's there too. Can't keep it in. Throw in right forward pocket here for GWS. Carlton by 24. Phil Pryor.
Yeah, the Giants' official update on Jaden Laverty, their defender, is hamstring soreness.
Forward 50 for the Giants now. They need a goal. They need to wrestle back some momentum here. Who's around the contest for Briggs? It goes the way of Daniels. Basketball style, tried to bounce it back up to himself. He was tackled. Ball spilled free for a moment, then it was dragged back in. We'll have another ball up in the right forward pocket for the Giants. Callum Brown lurking. Green is there. He's so dangerous around here. Briggs to Green. Not much space. Tried the kick. It was half smothered, and it'll go out of bounds next to the right behind post, so that margin is still 24 points. Carlton looking for 5 wins in a row to keep an outside chance at finals in 2026 alive. Can you believe it? 2 months ago, if you had said that, you would be hosed down.
On the throw in, Briggs brings it to the back, coming through Jagger Smith. He leaves it behind Toby Green. Loses it, free kick. Paddy Cripps with the infraction. High tackle there on Toby Green. And he'll go back from 20 out, slight angle to the right. Be close to a sure thing. He thought about playing on.
He put his name on it.
He's going to go the left foot snap and curl it through nonchalantly. A couple for Toby Green. And it's back to 3 goals, Carlton's lead. 12 minutes into the third term. Ty Kennelly and Alicia Reaver.
Well, if there was a moment for Toby to step forward, it was that forward 50 stoppage. We've seen him kick goals in that scenario on so many occasions. In that moment, he put his name on it through the stoppage. He got lower and cops an errant arm of Paddy Cripps across his neck. But yeah, as you mentioned, he was very casual in his approach, but he nails those left foot snaps. Didn't go back and take the regular drop punt.
A bit of territory footy, just keep it in there. You know what happens, obviously, when the ball's a bit greasy, you get lower on it, you get opportunities, and that's exactly what happened that instance from Giants' perspective. Actually just get the ball in the front half and keep it in there. A couple of repeat entries and make the opposition a bit nervous.
Centre clearance been so crucial today. Aliir down to Callaghan, who taps it back to Aliir, but he fumbles it. Untidy stuff from the makeshift ruckman means Carlton get the clearance. It is P. Cripps. Deep entry. Fist from Taylor. Falls the way of Thomas on the bounce, and he goes short to Toby Green, who marks 70 from his own defensive end. And slows play down. Has Fonte to his left, or can pick off a slightly riskier one, but a better one for opening up the ground. He does that to Aliir. Aliir's kick is once again messy, and just an unfortunate minute for Lek Aliir, who had Toby Bedford out. Instead, it's a lasso, and Carlton will bring it back in.
Dean's kick too short, so Walsh called to play on. Handball back towards Dean. Slapped away by a Stringer. Gothard, who's been quiet in this game, looking for a second disposal. Ball comes out for Walsh. Kicks the Blues around the wing. Off the hands there of Akers. McGovern at the back. Tackled by Lek Aliir. They're wrapped up quickly. So a ball up between wing and half forward for Carlton. Carlton by 18 points. 13 and a half into the third.
So Cadman's the same, he's got one with no impact in the game whatsoever. It's a Stringer, at least you can see he's walking, he's trying to put some pressure on front of the ball for the Giants.
Canelio gets his hands dirty. Forward handball, but it's picked off. Florent, he grabs it for the Blues, and another turnover moment. Does it lead to a goal? Handball to... Cottrell has collected. Nice play from Callum Brown, who read it, came off half foot, and then crunched What a tackle on the front edge of the square from Taylor Byrne. It comes in for Carlton. Reading it best was Callaghan, who tracked back, applied the spoil. Loose ball picked up by Fonte, who comes out this western side and has the chop-out kick of Bedford.
So Bedford on the back flank. The Giants trying to kick back-to-back majors for the first time in this game. Bedford contest kick to the wing off the hands of Cabman out the back. Daniel zips after it. Has to bump Cowan. It ricochets to Cabman. Cabman can't pick it up. Cowan goes again. And fights a draw. Pin to him. Held in.
I think the Giants on record for ground ball fumbles, for the amount of fumbles they've had on the ground in a game of football. And
Carlton still by 18 points, quarter hour mark of the third.
Now Lear v. Cripps, he leaps over the top of the double Brownlow medalist. That tap on is good inside 50. Didn't take possession. Bedford picks up the loose ball, hands it off to Cadman. He looks behind him, has Connor Stone, kicks it and admonishes himself immediately. Connor Stone, who has 2 goals and should have 3. They miss a golden opportunity to cut it to 2 goals. Instead, it is 17 points the lead for the Blues. 60 plays 43. Got a player down in the background. It is
Harry Dean.
That's Harry Dean for the Blues. So just stop play as 2 trainers come out to the father-son pick for the Blues. 3 trainers now, so he's in very good hands, and the umpire will just make Carlton wait.
Is it a concussion concern?
I'm not too sure. It looks
He's
pretty
jogging
sore.
off at the moment, trying to find a replay. Yeah, there was a head clash. He got the top of Toby Bedford's head right into the chin. Right where in boxing that if you get hit there, it can be lights out. So it doesn't look overly well. Maybe got a little elbow into the ribs as well. As with the kick in, Florent long to a contest. Mackay a lot of it. And paid the mark or a free kick. They give it off to Walsh. The Blues bring it towards the broadcast wing. Akers. He'll go quickly. Kick inside 50 towards a contest. Up goes Ison. Hand to it, doesn't mark. At the fall of the ball, Canelio. Handball to Himmelberg. Somehow has to get a kick away. Giants under pressure. And Canelio sweeps it back for the Giants to Iden.
Yeah, but they're not out of trouble because the handball to Iden hit the deck. So Carlton approach. They've been good with pressure today. They've been better. And they forward. Oh, Fonte kicked it out of defensive 50. Again under serious pressure. It was a nice mark from Mackay just inside the paint. So he's going to kick it straight back inside 50. There'd be 25 players there. Can they find a mark? Hayward leaps. Lecalier gets a spoil. Callaghan at the fall of the ball, as is Stone. Taps it to Brown, then to Iden, then to Callaghan, who was away but didn't like anything he saw, so he stops and throws up a high bomb. The big Gary Owen. Brent Daniels arrived late, and he just ran into Jagger Smith. So it's a free kick to the Blues, 60 metres out from goal. They lead by 17. Smith says, I'm going long. It's a low kick still to the hot spot. Up high was Ison. Couldn't grab it. Evans on the deck. Picked it up, tackled. Ball came free. Little toe. Well read by Taylor. His handball, though, is another miss inside 50. Ash, it missed him. Running through was Hayward. Couldn't pick up the ball cleanly. So it goes out of bounds between left forward flank and left forward pocket. Blues leading by 17 on the 17-minute mark here on ABC Sport.
So a week of fundamentals, or 2 weeks of just fundamentals, basics of the game from the Giants. I wouldn't be worrying about system or strategy for right now. It's just trying to get the fundamentals of the game right.
Mackay out to Hewitt. Gives it off to Jagger Smith. Straight up and under. Thomas punches it away for the Giants. Chera takes it centre half forward. Turns it over to Canelio. Kicks into the middle of the ground for the Giants. Cadman's handball. Look away. Turnover. Haynes takes it back, but he coughs it up. So the Giants back in possession through Angwin. Now Phoenix Gothard. Fend off. Handball back to Angwin. Angwin's kick smothered. Cottrell does well. Byrne dives on the footy. This is an ugly passage. This is horrible footy. Eventually Angwin extracts it, but there's a the umpire felt sorry for them. He said, bring it back, give it to Chera.
And Chera looks inboard. Oh, this is comical football. 11th v 14th. It is that way at the moment. Carlton, though, looking the better team. They go through the middle. Hewitt, lace out kick to the lead of Kemp.
It's a lot to like about Carlton Football Club, the way they're moving the ball and the pressure. Yeah, the pressure in the front half and then their ability to move the ball off turnover. That was very efficient and clean. The exact opposite of what the Giants are right now.
Kemp's been their leading inside 50 marker in 2026. The defender turned forward. Leading goal kicker with 21 goals as well. It's his second full year up forward. He's looking more at home. That was a lead. He took that at full tilt on his chest. He'll kick from 48 metres. Slightest of angles. This to get it back out towards 4 goals. Brodie Kemp ambles in for his second goal, and he's pulled it. So the score instead is a neat 3-goal lead to the Blues as we approach time on in the third stanza here. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. This game is up for grabs.
Himmelberg just chisels the ball out wide for Whitfield. After a little ear massage on the way down. Whitfield kicks infield for Ash. Ash darts away with the footy. Wants to bring it out towards the commentary wing. Sets a task for Taylor. He's up to it. Closing late Acres. Taylor able to mark. Carlton by 18 points. Lifts it over the top to the run of Iden. He'll kick the Giants inside 50. Downfield free kick. Evans bumped him late. So Hogan to receive it. 51 out. He'll set it up. Looking for a marker. Up goes Cadman. Hands to it. Doesn't hold it. Hayward Roves at fullback for the Blues. Off to Haynes. Haynes with a clearing handball out to Byrne.
Taylor Byrne might have been taken high as he handballed to Ison. Ison couldn't pick up the loose ball. Giants do. Goes through hands. Oliver, Bedford, Stone from against the boundary line. It was a tough ask. He was under pressure when he kicked it. It was Fonte in the end. And that is out of bounds on the full. 18 remains the lead for the Blues. 61 plays 43. And the Blues bring it back in across goal to Newman, who will then kick it back.
Just seemed like then, with that 50-metre penalty, Jesse Hogan has ball in hand, and he almost rushed the entry and put it to a spot that probably wasn't advantageous. They just need to lock the ball in and just possess the footy a little bit more, the Giants. At the moment, Carlton are making the ground really big in offence. They're finding uncontested marks, and now we'll watch them march the ball up the other end, and they'll virtually go untouched here.
Yeah, just working it down the wing. Hayward, no one standing the mark, so he runs away with the footy, gives it off to Haynes. Backward of the logo. He'll kick the Blues to half forward. Marking contest. Byrne brings it down. McGovern's there, close to the boundary line. And the Giants win it back. Ash takes the handball over the top. Away to Wangwin. On to Callaghan. Handball knocked down. Onto it, Fonte. Back to Callaghan. Sweeping handball. Back with the Blues now through Newman.
Newman hands it off to Smith. Right on the logo. Kick towards 50. Iden applied a little bit of pressure on his opponent. Had a height advantage as well and takes the relieving intercept mark. The number 1 defender for one-on-ones in the comp, Connor Iden. Running around him is Callaghan to a 2-on-2. Brown takes the mark, then spills it at the last moment. Picks up the loose footy, handballs it to Whitfield. He gives a forward handball to Gothard. 20-metre looping one to Hogan. 55 metres out, thought about the handball. Kicks around his body instead, and Cadman had space, had time, led at the footy and took a high mark. He will kick for goal, and a much-needed one for the Giants. 35 metres out on the slightest of angles. Aaron Cadman needs to put this through the 2 big sticks on the 23-minute mark of the third term. He was their leading goal kicker in 2025. 4 goals last week against St Kilda. Aaron Cadman, a key forward, should kick this goal, and he does. And they cut it to a 12-point deficit. They shouldn't be within 12, but they are still in this game. 8-13-61 the Blues, 7-7-49 the Giants. 23 minutes played. Let's head downstairs. Phil Pryor.
Yeah, Carlton defender Harry Dean, he came off a short time ago. Of course, it looked like a concussion issue potentially. He was taken behind closed doors momentarily, but he has officially been cleared by the club, who are reporting it as a collision in the chest area, nowhere near the head. In fact, he's just running back onto the ground now.
Alicia Eva, Ty Kennelly.
Just noticed Lockie Whitfield's actually been swung forward here, so Adam Kingsley making a few different changes here. I wonder if it's just some more defensive pressure, some ball use going inside forward 50, whatever it might be. But yeah, he's starting on Nick Haynes at the moment in the forward line.
There's a lot going on in the Giants bench. You know, there's a lot of carnage going on down there at the moment, and the players are playing like that a small bit as far as this organisation is concerned. You know, they've just got the setups wrong here. They've got a warning against them for 666, but there's a lot of activity down there, Phil.
First time today they've kicked back-to-back goals, GWS. Can they make it 3 in a row? Ball comes out towards the wing. Akers makes it his for Carlton. Goes back to Hewitt. Towering kick inside 50. Pack forms. Taylor fists it away. Jagger Smith is at the fall of the ball. He's tackled to ground quickly. And a ball up, 48 out from the attacking goal for Carlton.
And with Lockie Whitfield going forward, it means one of the Carlton defenders, they can't afford to drop off him, because if the Giants use him in transition, he is a very good ball user and he will find something inside forward 50.
Oliver with the clearance. Lankalia can't take it cleanly. The Blues take it through Chera. Off towards Cottrell. Deep kick inside 50, holding free kick. It'll go to the Giants and Himmelberg. And receive it at fullback. Carlton by 12 points. The Giants hanging around in this contest.
Handball to Lockie Ash, who is their meter eater. He has a couple of bounces. Forward handball this time outside D50. The kick comes up towards the logo. Gothard involved, nudged his opponent. Ball fell over the back of the contest and he was first to react, but then he cops a stray bounce. Pitnet was there chasing. He's the beneficiary. Turnover in the middle of the field, though, for the Blues. On the bullseye, Finn Callahan looks around, grabs the footy, has an acre of space, runs, attracts attention. Handball to Oliver. 1-2 with Daniels. Short kick inside 50 to Whitfield. Handball over the top. They can raffle it. It goes the way of the skipper. They have kicked 3 in a row and Toby has 3 for himself. And somehow they are within a goal. The Giants, it is 61 plays 55. We've played 25 minutes in this third quarter. They have 3 goals to 2 in the third quarter, the Giants. End-to-end stuff there on that turnover in the middle of the ground. You're listening to ABC Sports Saturday Footy, and your experts are Ty Kennelly and Alicia Eber.
It looked like Phoenix got out resolved. He got a quick bounce, and then the Carlton came through the middle of the ground, and Harry Himmelberg with a really strong body spot, turned the ball over, and you get the ball, and you better ball users is in Finn Callahan, give it to Oliver, to Daniels, and to Whitfield, and then they work the ball up nicely through the corridor, which you haven't seen a lot of from the Giants, but really strong moment in contest from a lead in your team, and Harry Himmelberg turning that ball over, which gets the team going forward. You got all the momentum now to Carlton, see what they've got.
Up it goes in the middle. Pitnet and Briggs, neither decisive. Oliver ends up with it. Puffs it up to Cripps. Rushes a kick forward for the Blues. Works out for Byrne. Byrne will kick on his left. In towards full forward. Taylor sprawling. Doesn't take the mark. Iden cleans it up. Giants in their back pocket. Off to Ash, to Cornelio. Runs himself into trouble. Handball back to Briggs. Look out. Ison closing. Briggs with a clearing kick. Gets it out to Stringer. Drops the mark. Alia arrives to help out. Back to Stringer. Tries the fend off.
Strong.
Gets rid of Chera. And now give the handball away to Stone.
Great fend off there from Stringer. That was a 50-50 ball. They go up the line. Cadman makes early pressure on Dean. Takes the mark 80 out. Kick forward. All on his own. Gothard is underneath it and takes the mark in front of Cowan in the left forward pocket. You can hear the crowd because Cowan arrived late and pushed Gothard over the boundary line. No extras. So Gothard will line up. He's already turned his body on the side here. From the left forward pocket, he's kicking with his right foot. He's going to try bend it round the corner. Phoenix Gothard, who hadn't played a game at AFL level before this year. He's played all 13. He's going at goal a game or better. And he gets 4 in a row for the Giants. We are parity here at the Sydney Showgrounds. 61 apiece. They're a third quarter team this year, the Giants. They've won 9 out of 13 and they are winning this third quarter back in the game. 28 minutes on the game clock in the third quarter, 61 all.
Well, they're getting some run and carry and handball overlap. We see that it was pretty frantic stuff in the D50 from a Giants perspective then, but Jake Stringer has stepped up. He fights through a tackle and finds Cornerstone by hand, who hits up, who is it, Cadman on the lead. Cadman's taken some really important, strong marks out in front this quarter too. And then he has the vision of Phoenix Gothard in the pocket. And look, Cowan did a really good job of holding Gothard up, actually, because Toby Green was by himself in the goal square. But in the end, Phoenix Gothard goes back and a beautiful snap of the ball there.
So they were 23 points down, 4 minutes into this third term GWS. They've kicked 4 goals in a row and brought us back to parity. Walsh with the clearance up towards half forward for Carlton. Stone out after it. Can't quite track the footy. Out of play it goes. Throwing coming half forward Yeah, for Carlton, attacking the Homebush end. 8:13.61 plays 9:7.61. Under a minute to three-quarter time.
Gothard, such a quiet game, but that is a big goal. That is his 18th of the year in 14 games. The clearance from Briggs. Nice holdout from the youngster, Harry Dean. Just kept Cadman at bay and took the defensive mark. Backside of the logo. Goes wide to Hewitt. He looks forward and has Cripps. So that's a simple kick. They're 2 from home. 2.5 if there's a short one, which there is. McGovern on the lead marks. Just outside 50. Kicks to the hot spot. The lead comes from Walsh. And he marks.
I'm not sure he meant it, to tell you the truth. I think he was looking for, was it Will Harewood coming at him? But he'll take it nonetheless. Sam Walsh.
And that all started with the intercept mark by Harry Dean there. And I feel like when there's been a high ball coming in, he's looked to have the better of Cadman. Cadman's looked really strong on the lead, but that all started from the intercept mark from Harry Dean.
So Carlton were down by 5 at quarter time. They're up by 11 at the main break. To retain a lead into three-quarter time, Sam Walsh, massive goal. The Giants had kicked 4 in a row. Sam Walsh from 40 metres gives Carlton a 6-point lead as the siren goes. And that is some positivity for the Blues to take into the three-quarter time huddle. It is 9:13.67 to 9:7.61. The goal kickers for Carlton. So Sam Walsh, the goal just then. Evans has 3 of his own. Cottrell, Hayward, Kemp, Hewitt, Ainsworth. And what have I missed, Benny? I reckon that might be them. And for the Giants, goals for Couple, Connor Stone, Hogan, Green and Brent Daniels. And goals as well. Green has 3, Gothard has 1. Is that all of them?
That's all of them.
I've made a meat pie of that.
I wasn't listening closely enough when you went through the Carlton goal kickers.
9 goals apiece.
To tell you who you missed, but 9:13.67 plays 9:7.61. Carlton by 6 points. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Tammy Shipley believed someone was out to hurt her. She's put under 24-hour surveillance, and then something strange happens.
Ambulance emergency.
Tammy's story. Search background briefing on ABC Listen.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Gothard, 20-metre looping one to Hogan, 55 metres out, thought about the handball, kicks around his body instead, and Cadman had space, had time, led at the footy and took a high mark. Aaron Cadman, a key forward, should kick this goal, and he does. Oliver, 1-2 with Daniels, short kick inside 50 to Whitfield, handball over the top, they can raffle it, it goes the way of the skipper. They have kicked 3 in a row and Toby has 3 for himself. And somehow they are within a goal. Great fend off there from Stringer. That was a 50-50 ball. They go up the line. Cadman makes early pressure on Dean. Takes the mark, 80 out. Kick forward, all on his own. Gothard is underneath it and takes the mark in front of Cowan in the left forward pocket. He's going it. Goal a game or better. And he gets 4 in a row for the Giants. Hewitt, he looks forward and has Cripps. So that's a simple kick. They're 2 from home. 2.5 if there's a short one, which there is. McGovern on the lead marks. Just outside 50. Kicks to the hot spot. The lead comes from Walsh. And he marks to retain a lead into three-quarter time. Sam Walsh, massive goal.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Carlton by 6 points at the final change. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Following this game, we've got Collingwood and Port Adelaide. That means Nick Dacos versus Zach Butters. Corbin Middlemass is in position. Corbin.
Thanks, Ben. Light rain falling here at the MCG. It only got to 14 degrees in Melbourne today. It's 13 currently, and both teams out there doing their preliminary warm-up with rain falling here at the G. We're too early for teams, so final teams to come through in about 25 minutes from now. But we know that Sam Swadling is going to make his debut tonight for Collingwood. He's a 19-year-old, pick 37 out of last year's national draft out of West Perth in the WAFL. Meanwhile, you mentioned that the matchup tonight, Butters up against Nick Dacos. Of course, the pair spent the State of Origin period together playing for Victoria in the same team. Reportedly struck up a little bit of a friendship, and then in more recent times, Butters, who of course is a high-profile free agent at season's end, seemingly coming back to Victoria, has been linked with a move to the Magpies. It's not the favoured way, given their cap situation at the moment, but it certainly feels like it's in play, and Collingwood believe that to be the case. So Butters up against Dacos tonight. Is it Butters coming up against his future teammates? All of that adds plenty of intrigue to the night. Collingwood with just one win in their last 6 games. They do have a winnable 5-game stretch coming up, while for Port Adelaide, we know their story. They've lost 5 games by 3 points or less, so what might have been as a 4-win team down the bottom of the table at present. It's Collingwood and Port Adelaide to round out Super Saturday. Ben, it follows your game from Sydney, the Giants and the Blues. We'll kick it back to you at Sydney Showground.
Thank you, Corbin. We'll take people to that game at around about an hour's time from now. So looking forward to that, Collingwood and Port Adelaide. Here at the Showground, it is Carlton by 6 points. Ty Kennelly and Alicia Reba to break it all down for us.
Yeah, just bounced the second half of that quarter. You know, the Giants just really started going in the back half of the ground with their ball movement and actually playing cleaner and simpler, but also going fast at the same time and being more effective with their disposal. It was very, very evident. And what happens is you ask for it, Alicia. You actually draw your forwards up coming at the ball, which Cadman done really, really well, and they came up to it and got involved in the play, which creates space over the back. Previous to that first half of the game, it was all the Giants forwards were looking out the back without coming forward at the ball, but that comes off the back of being clean in the back half of the ground when you're actually bouncing off, and there's a lot more space to come at the ball, which the Giants actually bounced. Needed a lot of work from the stoppage component. This game ain't over. It's been a strong 10 minutes from the Giants, but Carlton, they're not going to lay it on.
Phil Pryor downstairs.
Yeah, there was a bit of chaos as that three-quarter time siren sounded as assistant Jason Davenport was talking to Adam Kingsley and trying to fix the message board. Basically, as far as those messages were concerned, under the stoppage category, it just had the word hunt. And then the final word down the bottom of that board said Argentina. So some kind of inspiration, I'm assuming, Alicia. An assistant of a colleague of yours. I wondered if you might be able to provide some insight as to what that might mean.
No insight here, Phil.
Maybe they're looking for a 39-year-old somewhere.
No, sorry, Phil. Sorry, Phil.
But know what hunt means.
But I think
we got that one.
If we're looking at clearance numbers, Carlton won that last quarter 7-zip.
Centre bounces.
Wow.
Carlton leading by 6 points. Final quarter underway. Pitnet palms it down, out after it. Finn Callaghan for the Giants. After Daniels, hooks across his body. Cowan drops the mark. Time to recover at centre half back for Carlton. Sweeps it out wide for Chera. Can't run it in and out of play. Throw in half forward here for the Giants, attacking the Homebush end in this final term.
We saw this story at the start of the year, didn't we? Carlton just could not close out games. This has been much tighter, but they've still kicked 9-13. So they lead by a goal. They could lead by 3 or 4 at least. Who can get the first of this final quarter? Oliver fighting hard, hands it off to Briggs. Out of mid-air. Kick only goes a couple of metres up in the air. Comes to Pitnet. He's tackled. Ball goes into the hands of Cripps. High pressure footy as the Giants kick it forward inside 50 from Oliver, who picked up the loose ball. Blues are first there. Handball comes to Haynes. He's tackled well. Oliver, loose footy to grab outside of the right boot. Does not register a score. Everything's going to be important in this final quarter, and from 25 metres out in the right forward pocket, Clayton Oliver misses everything, so that 6-point margin the way the Blues remains 1 minute into the final term.
So tactically, Lockie Whitfield's gone back again this quarter, playing on Cottrell.
Newman in the back pocket. Contest kick off the hands of the pack. The spillage falls to Cottrell. Out towards Newman, who gets it on, or Hewitt rather, who moves it on to Cowan. Kick up towards half forward. The Blues are there through Ainsworth. Out to Hayward. 55 from home. Likes the look of it. And so he should. What a goal from range. He's got a couple, and Carlton lead by a couple. 10-13-73, plays 9-7-61. 2 minutes into the fourth. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, a beautiful finish there by Will Hayward. Drop punt from 50, and I think defensively something's broken down here from a Giants perspective. Hayward playing on the wing. Harvey Thomas comes in to try and impact the contest. And there's an outnumber, and then it just leaves Hayward unattended. And a really beautiful finish.
Yeah, but Lockie Ash and Taylor went back instead of coming forward and put the pressure on. You just see Lockie Ash actually leaves the contest itself, and Harvey Thomas got a cover too if he won, but it was off the actual LDL exit kick from Carlton where they had the numbers at the face of the contest, got a handball chain and got him out the back again. But back-to-back goals from Carlton off a poor decision from Oliver with that shot at goal for mine.
And it looks like another centre clearance to Carlton, although the handball was just missed. It was a nice tackle from the Giants on Pitnet, who picked up the loose ball from Cripps, and instead a tackle just to the left of the bullseye. Ball up. Centre clearances was zilch for GWS in the third quarter, and it's going to be another one the way of the Blues. Hewitt turns to his right, kicks it and hope. In front was McGovern. Loose ball, grabbed it, ducked down on the ground and shirks one tackle. The inboard kick was low and hard, and Frankie Evans just couldn't control it. Sam Taylor picks up the loose footy, kicks it inside the centre square. A kick and hope. Well, it's going to come straight back from Cowan. His kick is messy, hits the deck. Ash was first there, and the Giants are away up the eastern wing as he hits Cadman.
Cadman just backpedaling off the mark. Nothing he likes quickly, so poke it over the top. Finds the run of Daniels. Zips away with it. Takes a bounce through the logo. Chips up to half forward looking for Briggs. Scored away by Pitnet. Gathers at ground level. Carlton back in possession. Chera's kick just to space on the wing. And the Giants will get there first through Cornelio. Gathers it. Sweeps a handball back to Iden, who shorts it to Fonte on the wing. Carlton by 12 points, 4 into the fourth.
A lot of movement ahead of the ball for him. Fonte, that is.
Tries to gain a few extra metres. Runs, kicks long. It's a 2-on-2. Slapped by one of the Carlton defenders to the ground. Cowan picks up the loose ball. Haynes grabbed it off him and he slipped under pressure. Handball's back to Cowan. Then to Newman. In the back 50 still, Dean chisels a kick towards Evans. Late spoil came from Fonte, was good, but Blues will work it out from half back through Cripps. Mackay probably should have taken the mark. It was punched from behind. Cripps came through and picked up the loose footy. He was tackled and he's called holding the ball.
What?
I don't know if he even took possession, but Fonte was Callahan was tackling him on the edge of the square. Free kick goes the way of the Giants as Iden runs past for the handball, collects.
Iden kicks up to half forward, marking contest off the hands of the pack there. Hogan out the back it goes. And Toby Green in a heap of space, gathers, snaps, misses narrow. Carlton by 11 points, trying to make it 5 in a row under the Fraser freight train.
Had a few injuries now. The Giants just be a bit more efficient with it. A couple of decisions. I think Toby had a look inside in that instance, but if there was a better option, he probably had the right to kick it. Had a shot at
Ollie Florent on kick-out duty up towards Mackay. Spills another one that he probably should have taken, and it's going to result in another entry. Giants, that left foot of Finn Callahan, but it is still 1-on-2. Kicked it straight to the chest of Nick Haynes, who marks at the top of the goal square. And then encroaching is Toby Green. He's pointing the umpire and saying, no, I was doing this, and they're on. So there's a couple of bumps. Newman goes down in back play off Green, and they are bluing. Push and shove. Guess who's at the centre of it? It is the skipper, Toby Green. 50 metres, though, award to Carlton, and they're away.
And here is Hewitt getting around a couple, then floating it towards full forward for the Blues. McGovern goes down, not held. Ball skips through for a minor score.
Well umpired, because that could have gone either way. You know, the report at that. I don't mind that deep in front, full back, and Himmelberg was at it with Stone. McGovern. Well umpired.
Carlton by 12, 6 played, fourth term.
Tyke, you mentioned earlier Clayton Oliver had a shot on goal. He perhaps should have passed it off. Finn Callahan did the same thing then and burnt Lockie Whitfield in the corridor. Now, Whitfield, I'm watching him. He's been given licence. He is, from what I can see, he's running up and down the ground. He's trying to be their playmaker for the Giants.
Ash does a 1-2 with Iden, whose kick outside 50 was picked off by Chera. Lowers the eyes. The lead comes from Kemp, but it overcooked and went over the top. Giants can break out of D50. Stone handballs to Daniels, who throws a big looping handball, a dangerous one to the top of 50. Ash taps it on. That was smart. If he had it gathered, he would have been tackled. Giants are working it out somewhat. It's messy. It's up for grabs in the middle next to the bullseye. Oliver went in, and a solid connection with Ainsworth, who lay on the ground for a moment. Ball was trapped under a couple. There'll be a ball up next to the centre circle. Middle of the ground.
Hitting it, palming it down. Daniels taking it for GWS. Handball back to Stone. He'll dump it on the boot up towards centre half forward. Marking contest. And the mark taken by Newman. Carlton with possession again, centre half back. Newman pokes it for Wilson. Wilson with some go forward now to Walsh. Walsh gives it to the run of Wilson, just cruising by. He'll wait a kick for Ainsworth, chopped off. Stone spoiling, then marks it on the rebound. GWS ball.
Nice moment from Stone, but then he turns it over. Cottrell grabs it, looks forward, and of course there's players out because the Giants had started to run forward. Brody Kemp marks just inside the paint. Slide angle who kick for goal from maybe just beyond 50.
Instead of bouncing out of there, they've turned over the ball at half back, and it's a handball. There's players queuing up for a handball. Connors try to kick it, turn it over, and the players are out of position on the defensive transition, which just gives the ball back to Carlton. So it's been the story of the game for the Giants.
They lead by 12 points at the moment, Carlton. They kick the only goal of this final term. Brody Kemp has 2 goals in his last 3 games to make it 4 in a row. Unloads from 50, and it's just across the face. Tugged it a touch, through for a behind. Handy point.
Yeah, it leaves the door open. Now 10-15. It's not good kicking, is it, obviously? It just leaves the door open for the Giants, who are well and truly in this.
13 points the margin. We played 8 minutes here on ABC Sports. Saturday footy. Here's Ben Cameron.
Himmelberg with the kick-in duties. Ambles to the pocket, sets it up towards a contest. Cadman's there. Brown from the side takes the mark. And GWS get some energy into this ball and get it moving. Thumping kick around the wing. Up goes Hogan, marks. Yep. Now they're on inside 50. Big Briggs. They can go out towards Harvey Thomas. Will get there on the bounce. Doesn't take the mark. Coming through Taylor. Taylor's dispossessed. Caught holding the ball. Haynes picked him off. And the Carlton defence, it holds up again. Carlton by 13 points.
Oh, they messed up the unmessable.
I know. There was 3 running forward. Yeah. Instead, it's Haynes on his old back 6 comrade who tackled Taylor. They work it outside 50. It's over the top of the one-on-one. Clears Cornelio, who touches it, so it goes out of bounds just in front of the Giants bench.
It's got to stick with it, stick with it, and hopefully it comes. And it's a big game in this context of the season for the Giants. It's a big 10 minutes of football here, and just got to stick with it.
That's a massive one. They win this, they're inside the 10. They don't look like it at the moment. Briggs arrived first to the ruck contest, tapped it forward. Walsh read it best to Jagger Smith. He kicks it up towards Ison. Taylor arrives late with a fist that goes out of bounds in front of the Blues bench. So nearing 10 minutes in this final term. The margin was 6 at three-quarter time. It's 13 at the moment, the way of the Blues. 75 plays 62. You're on ABC Sport. Carlton looking for 5 in a row under the caretaker coach, Josh Fraser.
Rucks engage. Free kick. Briggs. Pitnet just wrapped him up. Carlton by 13, as Declan mentioned. Briggs gives it back to Ash. Runs away with it. Kicks the Giants inside 50. Marking contest. Cadman and Dean. Dean spoils. Thomas comes through, gathers. Off to Bedford, look out. Ran into Akers. Breaks the tackle. Handball out to Daniels. Back to Cornelio. He'll just put a dump kick inside 50. Hope for a marker. Cowan hands to it. Doesn't take down the mark. Dirksen gathers at ground level. Blues at fullback. Here's Haynes working out a kick. And they'll sort it out. The Blues through Cottrell.
Yeah, they are away if they go quickly. Cottrell, the deep kick is the play. He does that towards Ainsworth and he makes it to him. Although Himmelberg came quickly and shuts down that quick play from Carlton. So Ainsworth with the footy on the eastern wing. Still defensive half. Kicks up towards a couple. Big fly from Iden, who spoiled it but didn't get it out of bounds. So Carlton have it. Oh, run down tackle. Ison from behind was mowed down by Stone inside the Carlton attacking 50. Big play from Connor Stone as he dishes it off to Ash.
He tries to get around Byrne. He does. He darts away. A couple of bounces. Chips into the middle for Oliver. Oliver sweeps the handball to Bedford. He's quick. He takes off with it. Kicks smartly for Brown. 49.5 metres out, and he is a long kick.
Yeah, he's got the distance covered here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think his teammates are telling him.
They immediately point.
It's been gone up and down a bit here, take the chance, take this thing out of it, give him 30 seconds, get the breath back. Game looks like it's Giants' game when it's played like this, when it's livelier and it's going, get more opportunities going forward.
Hallam Brown. Will have to be a monster. Here's a long kick. Boot the ball from 55. Thumps it on target. It's just a little left.
It was a fantastic chase down tackle by Connor Stone to kind of set up that, create the turnover and then set up that play. They're not going to have many more opportunities in this game. They've got to nail these shots on goal.
Carlton by 12 points, 12 and a half minutes into the final term.
Billy Wilson in the goal square. Turned 21 during the week. Runs out of the goal square, delivers long towards Cripps and Pitt, and it flies over 6 or 7, and Taylor Byrne was at the back for the Blues. Handball backwards to Cripps on his left foot, fashions a kick forward. Jagger Smith read it really well. Nice bit of class. Handball back to Evans, then forward to Ison, who marks on 50, decides to play on, kicks a scrappy one to Grubber inside 50. Ainsworth runs onto it. Handball back to Cottrell, who looks around and says, "You little beauty." Cottrell has 2 in his comeback game, and it is nearly enough for the Blues on the 13-minute mark. The Giants have not kicked a goal in this fourth term. That is the second goal for the Blues. 11-15-81 to 9-9-63. End-to-end, coast-to-coast goal for Carlton.
It came off the back of some amazing awareness of Jagger Smith, just to take the ball cleanly in and amongst a few Giants, and then just to find the hands to a player in a better position. Ison plays on when he perhaps didn't need to, but Cottrell, he's just been patrolling, working up and down the corridor of NG Stadium, and a nice finish there.
What about Smith's trap? Like he's just so clean for a young footballer. Clearly there's a lot of talk about him, but he's very good in traffic and helps sets it up. It's going to be difficult from here, but you got to take those opportunities, Brown.
Restart in the middle. Swatted on by Lekalia for the Giants. Callahan trying to burst onto it. Cripps right there with him. Worries him out of it. Daniels handball turnover. Carlton back the other way quickly. McGovern away to Wakers. His kick up to half forward. Ash marks. Giants ball back flank. Carlton lead by 18 points. The Giants in possession and a dangerous kick into the middle.
Ash touch number 25. It's a risky one, but they have to get 3 and a bit goals, so you may as well try and go through the middle. It's a fumble, and it's holding the ball. Jagger Smith piles on. Touch number 23 for the Rising Star favourite, depending who you listen to. In his second year, that injury stopped him in his tracks in the pre-season of year 1. He is showing his class today. Moves it wide. Akers marks just forward of centre on the eastern wing. Looks inboard to Walsh.
Done this really well tonight. Two parts of their offensive play with their handball chain and their ability to actually kick mark and hold the game up. And you alluded to it earlier, Alicia, the ability to stretch the ground and open up the width of it, as we see an example here.
Walsh touch number 31 is a kick inboard to Florent, who moves it all the way to the other side. Newman was on his own just beyond 60. He plays on, kicks it central. Mackay can't mark. He might have found a free kick. Whistle on play. And Stone has his arms out. The free kick goes the way of the Blues. This might be the ice if Mackay can kick truly from 35 metres directly in front.
Well, I didn't see what the free kick was for, Ty, did you?
No, I haven't, but...
hold, maybe.
Again, you sort of talk about the composure and their ability. It's well coached, you know. I mean, you come in and actually identify that they don't want to defend you, so actually hold the ball and create more space.
Harry Mackay has kicked more behinds than goals this year, but he kicks truly right in this moment. Huge goal in this game and in Carlton's season, because it is now a 24-point lead as they eye off 5 in a row. 12-15-87, 9-9-63. They've kicked 3 goals in this fourth quarter to the Giants 0. We've had 16 minutes, ABC Sport. Ty Kennelly, Alicia Eva.
Yeah, sorry, Alicia.
I was going to say, do the Giants do anything different at this centre bounce? Do they put different personnel through there? Toby Bedford's there at the moment. Finn Callahan's in there. And at the moment, that's it. So I think there are some magnets being shuffled. Here comes Clayton Oliver now, but this becomes critical. This centre bounce becomes critical because how many minutes we got left on the clock? There's
probably 10
to go. Yeah. Carlton are just when they move the ball, as you said, I've been really impressed with the kick mark game and the handball receive game.
Michael Voss is feeling sick somewhere. He's out of the middle. Finn Callahan has to dump it on the right boot. Snaps it inside 50. Hogan goes to ground. Dirksen takes it for Carlton. Kicks out of defensive 50.
He's all over this.
Sorry,
Benny. He's all over this, Bossy. You know, it was their lack of ball movement that was getting him, but their contest work tonight and their pressure has been all Michael Voss. You can clearly see the way they play their football, and obviously Josh has come in and got him playing some offensive football.
Incredibly, with a win tonight, they'll move level on wins with GWS. Can you believe that? There's Whitfield. Rushes his kick into the middle of the ground. Cripps gathers it, gets rid of it away towards Walsh. Sweeping handball. Kemp takes it, steps his man. Then he's pressured, but he works it out brilliantly. Snaps it into the pocket. And Haru Mackay runs onto mark. 30 out, slight angle left of centre. He'll go back and kick for goal.
The Cripps Walsh handball chain through the middle of the ground. They've just looked really damaging through there. Once Carlton have been able to get the ball live through the centre of NG Stadium here, they've just moved it with real ease. And on that occasion, there was pressure on the kick from Phoenix Gothard, but the snap made it to Mackay, and that's all that matters.
3 goals last week. For his second tonight, it's into the woodwork. And the door is slightly ajar.
What price you get Carlton to win the flag? Hey? The Blue Baggers are up and above.
Yeah. Well, we've spoken a little bit about the fact that they're actually in a better position than they were at this stage in 2023 when they made the run to the prelim. With 5 goals up in that prelim too.
Himmelberg to Fonte. He gets up after taking the mark in the right hand foot back pocket. He goes on a run. He's run 55 metres, 5 bounces, kicks it, and 1 bounce out of bounds. It was looking brilliant for a moment, and then it comes apart like everything has for the Giants.
That's exactly their game. Looks brilliant for a moment, and then falls apart.
Lasso free kick. It'll be Nick Haynes who brings it in just behind halfway for the Blues. Mackay's there. He taps it forward. Running onto the ball was Blake Acres. Nice tackle from Harvey Thomas. Out of bounds. About 80 from the Carlton home. They lead by 25, which means the Giants need to kick 5 goals in less than 7 minutes.
I don't think it's going to happen, but again, it's the example there, Fonte, is their kicking efficiency. They're running at 47%, the Giants' kicking efficiency. You know, we talk about the fundamentals and getting that part of your game right. It's been very evident with the Giants tonight, and just creates opportunities for the opposition when you're not clean.
Briggs brings it down, and the Giants go away down the wing. Finn Callaghan taking a couple of bounces, driving ball to full forward. Hogan plucks it. Finally, he marks 30 out directly in front.
I haven't seen much of Finn doing that, have we? Breaking. He's got his hands in the ball and he's got dirty, but he actually hasn't had a lot of open play and open ball movement, as we know how damaging he can be. Great kick to the favoured side of the forward. Nice mark, and certainly to his confidence. He's probably done enough for me to JC. You know, he's great. He's got opportunities, but few and far between, aren't they?
Hogan to try and keep that pulse. Just beating for the Giants. Hooks it horribly left. Carlton by 4 goals neat. 20 minutes into this final term, Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
You set it up nicely there too.
I did know commentator's curse was going to happen.
Newman ambles out of the goal square. The ex-Swan to another ex-Swan. Florent approaching game 200 in a few weeks. Ollie Florent. He goes back to Newman in the goal square. They are happy to take any sting that might be left in this game right out of it, Carlton. He goes to the left back pocket to Cowan. And Whitfield affords him 10 metres. So Cowan just stays and says, come at me. I'm not moving. Eventually Whitfield comes at him. He kicks down the line, Cowan. Liam Marks, nice one in the pack. Handballs forward to keep it moving. Oliver, round his body, kick to the hot spot. Toby Green picks up the footy. He's tackled, has to handball. Wanted a shot on goal instead. Use his hands. Newman, though, picks up the footy that was up for grabs, stitches it off to Dean. He goes long, and the Blues are away through McGovern.
Well, he wants to stop prop, nothing forward of the ball, so he'll kick it back to Mackay. He can accept it on the wing, and they'll see a little more sand slip through the hourglass here, Carlton. Leading by 4 goals, 21 minutes into the final term. Mackay can now kick to a contested half forward. McGovern in from the side, brings it down. Angwin Roves wrapped up. All up, half forward for Carlton. They're closing in on a 5th straight win under Josh Fraser. They'll get to 6 and 8, which will level the ledger with GWS.
Tap down was nice. Smith kicks it inboard. Oh, nearly a mark from Ison. It spills. Giants have numbers. Harvey Thomas grabs the footy, collects, comes to Iden. He veers out to his right. Callaghan marks still inside 50. And they got to go through the middle to Bedford. But he stops and instead goes sideways. Oliver marks it 80 metres from defensive goal. He begs someone to come at him. Instead goes to the right to Cornelio. Forward handball to Angwin. Another forward handball to Brent Daniels. He is surrounded by Blues. Goes inboard. Nice bit of vision. Clayton Oliver with the kick inside 50. But marking it is Nick Haynes against his old side. He's had a really nice night, in particular a good second half. Nick Haynes, the intercept mark. That 24-point lead for the Blues remains.
Haynes, contest kick to the wing. Harry Mackay, big pack mark.
It's a good game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been good, H.
His ability to come up in the ruck, it frees him up and gets him involved in the play instead of being a permanent forward. He's done it well in the past month of football.
Plays a little bit of kick-to-kick with Newman. Again, just sucking a little bit of time out of this game.
Just the importance of that mark. I mean, he's got Lecalier jumping up, trying to spoil, and I think Lec would be disappointed with that effort there. That's probably got to end up in the fourth row.
Contest kick around the wing, and Hayward marks. They're doing all of the things we wanted them to do earlier on in the year when they were trying to ask games, and confidence is a funny thing, isn't it?
Freedom. It's just a freedom as well to play.
Hayward looks back. He maybe thought about just settling things down. Instead, he kicks a really smart one to where the point of the 50 meets the boundary. All it took was a spoil, and they just chew off a little bit more time. 23 and a half minutes on the game clock in this final term. 24 points is the lead. The way of Carlton, who have come here into enemy territory. The last time they leave Melbourne this year, it's going to be a win for the Blues. Big tap forward from the Giants, from Briggs. Gothard's there at the fall of the footy. He can't pick it up. Cadman dives on it. McGovern jumps aboard him. A ball up 10 metres in from the boundary line, about 80 metres away from the Carlton goal.
Briggs laying it down. Cripps burrowing after it. And a big day for Paddy Cripps. An enormous second quarter for him. He's led all of Carlton with 33 disposals, 16 of those contested possessions. The Blues take it away again. Training handballs, but they cough it up. Daniels quickly steals it. Driving ball inside 50. Marking contest. Bringing it down. Newman gathers at ground level off to Haynes, off to Dean. Kick goes straight up and down and knocked out of play by Cadman. Thrown at the elbow of 50 in the boundary line. Carlton by 24. We played 24 and a half minutes in the fourth. What a run this has been from Carlton.
The Blues leading by 24 as the minutes tick down here at the showground. Ball spun back in. It'll land on the logo at the top of the 50. Fonte, he's tackled. Sharon comes free. Gothard ran hard at it, picked it up, and he was tackled by Ainsworth. He might have been taken high. He was. So Phoenix Gothard receives a free kick. He will kick for goal from 43 metres on a slight angle.
Phoenix has certainly been more involved in the game once he's come up higher. The first half he was
non-existent, really.
So he's got 18 goals in his 14 games. Phoenix Gothard, a real bright spot this year for the Giants from 42 metres at the left goal post, and it stays that way. So a minor score cuts it to 23. It is 88 plays 65. The Blues leading, and Kingsley stands on the bench with his fingers on his chin, wondering, what is this season going to come to? He said during the week, we're 6 and 7, but I think we're better, but talk is cheap. Well, they haven't showed anything better tonight.
Newman taking the kick in. Contest kick, whistle somewhere, holding free kick. It's against Lecalier, and it'll go to Harry Mackay. Carlton 23 points to the good. GWS kicked 4 consecutive goals. The only time today they kicked back-to-back majors. Brought the scores level. Since then, Carlton have kicked the next 4 goals of the game, and they lead by 24. An equal game high for them. GWS take it back. Aaliyah with a little fumble. It allows in Walsh. Carlton ball again. Gets it off. Away towards Hewitt, who gives it to Wilson, to Haynes. He's tackled. Ball up. No, holding the ball wide out.
Bedford grabs it and goes. Giants get the last shot here for a goal, a consolation goal. The rundown tackle from Wilson was sublime, and every Blue in the vicinity gets to him. He chased hard, and he gets the free kick, Billy Wilson.
Great chase from a young footballer, and he doesn't give up. It probably epitomises the Carlton mindset, throughout the night and throughout the 5 weeks.
He didn't need to do that, did he? The game is all but won right now. So Carlton send it long. Over the back of the contest is Ash, who runs sideways, steps around Cripps. Deep kick inside 50 for the Giants. Can they get a late goal? Cadman flies, nothing there for him. Dean, loose ball, handballs it off. Dirksen with the kick outside 50. Approaching it is Whitfield. Taps it over the boundary line just forward of the left half forward flank. And the Blues will bring it back in. They go forward to Hewitt, who marks next to the logo. And they head forward again.
There was a little issue with the time clock there. Not that it will matter in this game, but the countdown clock had stopped. The count-up time was still counting. I don't think the ball was out of bounds unless I was half asleep. That was a bizarre one.
I've been asleep for a lot of this game.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been a great one.
I didn't notice it. Carlton have just been more desperate, haven't they? They've been desperate in defence, but equally they've been really balanced and composed in offence.
Briggs, fresh airy, ball hits the deck. Carlton are there through Akers. Handball to Ainsworth, tackled to ground. And the umpire wants it, will get a ball up.
Quite a mature performance, isn't it?
Yep. Just the pressure's been high from the get-go, but then they've been able to just slow the game down when they've needed to with ball in hand and speed it back up.
Brings it down to Walsh, away towards Akers, who rushes a kick on goal. It's 5 for the Fraser Freight Train. It's gathering ahead of steam. Carlton win by 23 points. Choo-choo and da-da-da-da-da.
We are the old dark navy blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team all Carlton knows. We're all the champions. They like to send up. We'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues.
So get this, Carlton are 6-8 on the season. They've won 5 in a row. GWS are 6-8 on the season. Can you believe that? The Giants, they kicked 2 of the 3 first goals of the game, led by 5 points at 2 of the first 3 goals of the game is what I was trying to get out there. They led by 5 points at quarter time. Confused myself. There were 5 lead changes early on in the game. And then it was Carlton who led by 11 points at the half. They led by 6 points at three-quarter time and won by 23.
We are the old dark navy blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team all Carlton knows. We're all the champions. They like to send up. We'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues.
So Carlton win 12-16-88 over GWS 9-11-65. It was a bizarre game. 5 lead changes in the opening quarter and a half of football. Then Carlton strung together 4 of the next 5 goals of the game. They led by 23 points 4 minutes into the second half. The Giants, who didn't kick back-to-back goals at any stage apart from a 4-goal run following that, brought it back to scores level late in the third. Walsh goal just before three-quarter time to hand Carlton the lead, and it was 3 goals to zip in the final quarter. The way of the Blues to run out winners by 23 points. The goal kickers, Frankie Evans with 3, 2 to Hayward and Cottrell, singles to Mackay, Ainsworth, Kemp, Walsh and Hewitt. While for GWS, 3 to Toby Green, 2 to Connor Stone, 1 to Abman, Gothard, Daniels and Jesse Hogan. Ty Kennelly, Alicia Eva. The Blues are alive in 2026. GWS, I'm not so sure about.
Yeah, you come into the game, we talked about at the start about the Giants' season sliding away and hoping they'd bounce back like they've done in the past couple of seasons, the back half of the year. You know, they've lost 2 since the bye now, and On paper coming in, you're confident that the Giants would get going, but just very, very clunky all day, and they have been all season. We said they've been inconsistent. They fired for probably 10 minutes in that game, the Giants, in that 10-minute period just before three-quarter time, and I asked the question over to you, Carlton, just before the start of they kicked the last goal of the third quarter, and then they kicked the first of the fourth, and that was almost a game as far as the Carlton's coming after the Giants. Defensively, they were very poor tonight. The Giants got absolutely smoked in centre bounce clearances. They'll have to go to work on that, but a lot of it's more the attitude piece around defensively. It's easy with the ball in hand. It's the defensive side of the game will always test you mentally, and you're able to tell where a team is at, and you can see that at the end of the game itself from the tackle and the run-down tackle. But when you look at teams in form, it's how desperate and want and desire to actually defend can tell you where a team's mindset's at. At the moment, the Giants' mindset is just inconsistent, and that's the way they're defending, and that's the way they're playing, and that's what you got. On the flip side, it's incredible watching a football club shift in a season like they've shifted. You talked about Paddy Cripps' ability under Vossi, looked tired and slow and heavy, and he's done. He's back 5-6 weeks. Has been incredible. The coaches can do that, and fresh change can do that. But the game plan and the style of Carlton, it's Vossi. Their contest work, their pressure has been all Vossi. They just weren't playing freely offensively, which they're doing now, Alicia, and you can see that with the handball chain and their composure. And we talked about their maturity, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And look, coming into this game, if you look at the last month of football alone, the last month, if you had the AFL ladder, Carlton are actually sitting third. So we know about in terms of their wins and
form,
their form's actually been really, really good. To your point, Tyke. Look, my assessment will start with the AFL would be very happy with their wildcard round decision. So technically both teams are still alive, right? But, one is riding waves of momentum at the moment, and the other needs to really find some quick. Carlton, look, I thought from the get-go the Carlton midfield was on top of the Giants midfield. We spoke in the first quarter around, Clayton Oliver hadn't got going. Brent Daniels started really well but had a really quiet second quarter. Whereas if you look at Carlton's mids, Cripps, Walsh, where was Hewitt playing? There was, and then Smith, Hayward. Their entire midfield were having an impact and getting the footy, and their touches were actually leading to scores. So I think from the get-go, the Carlton mids, they came to perform today. They won the centre bounce count by 10. So it's an area of work that the Giants have they really need to address that. But from a Carlton perspective, it just gives their forwards first access without having to compete against a +1 in defence, which can so often happen if you're not losing centre bounce. So the Carlton midfield get a big tick there. Carlton win both contested possession and uncontested possession. So they were winning it on the inside and then distributing the ball out into space, whether that be by hand or if they were playing a kick mark game out of their back half. So for mine, it looked like Carlton came in with a real plan to shut down the orange tsunami, and they did that really well, particularly in the first half. In that second quarter,
they got frustrated, didn't
they?
See the Giants getting frustrated with Alicia with the ball movement.
They really were getting frustrated. You could see it. Once they got it going again in the third quarter, the Giants, they started to score, but it was almost too little, too late. So Carlton executed a game plan. They were desperate in defence, not massive tackle numbers by any means, but when they were tackling, they were sticking, and it was almost the chase pressure. So sometimes chase pressure and just getting a hand in and just working a guy off balance is enough to cause turnovers, and they were doing that relentlessly in the first half. The Giants weren't able to find a mark inside 50. They were a bit wasteful going in there. And then when Carlton won the ball back, their counter-attack, they just were really balanced. They were able to play a kick mark game. Yeah. They were taking the ball back into a fast mode at the right time. So it was a really balanced performance by the Carlton Football Club.
The maturity for mine, the maturity when the Giants came at them at the end of the third and the start of the fourth, for the maturity to actually to keep faith. And I think a lot more credit needs to go to Josh. You win a couple in a row, but when you start having a couple of weeks off, and then you've got a bye and you actually can plan and prepare and put up a performance like this, a lot of credit has got to go to Josh Fraser, obviously, with the way they've bounced back. And Vossi's all over it, but actually to go and apply himself for a good 6-week block of football, it's enough. It's enough of content to go, well, this block knows what he's doing. They're going to have a very difficult decision now if this continues, obviously, because you can't win 5 in a row, which is really 6 weeks of football with the bye you're preparing. So they're going to have some interesting conversations going forward, and he's obviously said he's not thought about it. Clearly he has, but he's going to throw that line up. If he continue to win like this, he won't have a decision to make. The players will make the decision for him.
So looking to the next few weeks, for the Giants, they won't start favourites in the next 3. They've got Hawks at the MCG, Freo in Canberra and Geelong back here. You look at Carlton, they're 5 in a row now. They've got West Coast at Docklands. They've got Richmond at the MCG. Maybe 7 in a row. Then they play Hawks and Pies, both at the MCG.
They could be 8 and 8.
I think the other way. I think they're the games that the Giants need. The Giants need
Tough
better
ones.
teams in the comp right now. The backs against the wall. They've got some quality that are not playing really well. And when you got backs against the wall with the footballers that they've got, they're not playing at a level that they should be playing at. And that's the better ones, the Hogans, and they're not playing at the level. So
that's
they
an
need
indictment, though, to need.
It is.
Quality.
I know that. You're taking teams for granted. This was always a danger game along with St Kilda.
Let's go down into the victorious Carlton rooms. Phil Pryor is in there.
Yeah, things are well and truly building now. The players are still yet to come in. That'll happen momentarily, but the full coaching staff are in here. Josh Fraser went to just about every Carlton member of staff for a handshake. So they're all up and about for sure, and now we're just officially waiting for the players to all make their way in. 5 wins on the trot. It's a remarkable turnaround for this club this season, and so you have the feeling that anytime they come on the road or go into state to pick up a win, especially against a quality team like the Giants, who are hard to knock off here in Homebush, it's big. And as you can hear now, it's a warm reception for this Blues outfit. 5 wins on the trot. As mentioned, a 23-point win. They're forming that circle now. Things are well and truly filling up. 6 players, of course, in this team that used to ply their trade at one of the 2 Sydney clubs, so they'll enjoy this as well. Here we go.
Yes. Is this someone coming in? Oh, what's happening?
Who's on the harmonica?
Oh, I think it's Cottrell. I'm just looking at the coverage. It is too. That's awesome.
See if you can get Matt Cottrell. Phil, I don't know who you've asked for down there in the rooms, but I want to hear from the man playing the harmonica.
That was awesome.
Might not have been the number 1 pick for the interview before that, but the harmonica. He's playing. What is he playing? Piano Man.
Piano Man?
Yeah, I think it was.
But then it sort of transitioned into the Carlton song.
Yeah, that was a little...
Yeah, that's correct, boys. It certainly was Piano Man. Well, we'll get our interviews sorted momentarily.
Thank you, Phil. We'll come back to you. That's very cool.
I've never, ever seen, not let alone a harmonica, any instruments played by a player pre-song.
Maybe like a Gatorade bottle on a esky.
On a bin.
We're pretty rigid, aren't we? It's like link arms, sing the song, don't do anything different.
Hey, what's wrong with tradition, Benny?
I like something a bit different. Let people be themselves. Play the harmonica.
They call him the energy man around Carlton. You can see why, Cottrell. He's a cool moment.
He's a good dancer too.
Is he?
Cottrell? Yeah, he's got a little bit of emotion about him.
Oh, right.
Okay, I'm glad. He's probably better than you.
Yeah, I'm not very good.
Your sort of robot arms.
I wish we had the camera set up like that on it. But, even little things like that is just something that a new coach, just a shift in mindset, bringing, some enjoyment back after a tough little period. Just little things like that. We can have a laugh up here and they're certainly having a laugh down there, but you got to remember sometimes, these athletes are young people and young guys, and they work hard. They've just spent 2 hours out there working super hard, bodies on the line, and to come in and celebrate, it's a little bit different, but I love it.
Yeah, same as I love it, Alicia. You put the foot in the shoe in the other foot, and it's like the weight of the world's on the club.
Yeah.
You know, that's almost what they need.
Yeah.
The Giants is just to almost relax and just let it go, and you know, let the footy do the talking as far as enjoyment wise. But yeah, it's a nice touch, and it's been a huge shift.
A reminder that in about 8 minutes' time, we will send the majority of you off to Collingwood and Port Adelaide. So Dacos versus Butters, as well as everyone else in that contest. Coming up next, Corbin Middlemass, Lauren Borden, Cal Sinclair, Brent Harvey and Andrew Mays to bring you all of the action. Josh Fraser, you're big on this, aren't you, Tig? And you declared earlier similarities between what you experienced when Rodney Eade departed Sydney and Paul Roos came in as the caretaker and did such a good job in the second half of the year that he eventually won the gig.
Yeah, and it cost the club a lot of money because they'd gone with
Terry
Wallace and made the decision that paid Terry Wallace. And great story. Roosy probably won't like me saying this, but when he was offered a job, Richard Collis went and knocked on the door, and Roosy, he said, "You've got the job," and Roosy said, "Oh, I'll get back to you tomorrow on that." And Richard's like, "I'm gonna have to put my on the line for you," and now you said, "I'll come back to you in 24 hours." So he's holding the club, very Roosy. But it does. It's just I think just the free. They can see there's a freedom and enjoyment in them, you know. And I bumped into we were playing a game in Adelaide under 18s, and I bumped into the Carlton players, and like I said before, worked with a few of them, and I'm talking to Oliver Florent, and the enjoyment in his face and the enjoyment he's talking about, it's clearly very evident.
Let's go back down into the rooms. Phil Pryor.
Yeah, we did our best. I've got George Hewitt down here. Now, George, a big day for you, but your 30 disposals probably, you know, not quite as flash as it might sound after Matt Cottrell's little performance there. I think we better get him on the mic after that. What was that all about?
I actually have no idea. None of us knew that was coming, so yeah, hopefully people enjoyed it, I guess. So, no, it was good fun. Hopefully everyone liked it.
So you've got no idea that he has those types of talents, just to be clear.
I know he has those talents. I just realised he was going to pop it out after the win, but he's got some more left of centre talents, old cots, but probably can't be talked about on him. But no, he's a good fella.
Dance moves we heard.
How good. 5 wins on the trot for this club. Can you try and put words to this turnaround?
Not really. Like, it's sort of hard. Like, we'll lose them early in the year, but like we just felt. The environment internally was going in the right way. I know Ty's been part of the Swans and the Bloods coach. Like sometimes winning can bring you, losing can bring you closer and bring the coach a bit tighter. And we just felt like we're going in the right direction. We just weren't getting the results. And then, yeah, probably with Fraser just being brought with a bit more freedom. And the boys are enjoying it, yeah.
And for you, it's obviously been a bit of an up and down season form-wise. How are you feeling now? A really good night tonight, obviously. 30 disposals, involved in the middle with the other big bulls in there as well.
Yeah, no, it was a good night. I just feel like we, as a team, probably had control for most of the night, but that's what the Giants do. If one of you switch off in the defensive transition, coming forward or going back, they hurt you pretty well. They're very good at making the ground big and going through a corridor. So that was probably the only way we let him in the game. I thought our contest and effort for most of the night was pretty strong.
And can you speak to your motivation coming back to Sydney? One of 6 players in this team that used to play their trade either at the Swans or the Giants.
It's just a beautiful city. We stayed in the city. I'm trying to talk to, I don't know, CD or someone about staying in Coogee or something, but might be too relaxed. But no, you look one way and there's just, you got the bridge, and look the other way, it's just a beautiful city. So no, it just brings back good memories. This city, I love it.
We've got Carlton mid George Hewitt down here. We'll send it upstairs. We've got Ty Kennelly as one of our experts up there, along with Alicia Eva, of course. But I know you go way back with Ty, so I'm guessing he's chomping at the bit to jump in here.
Georgie, congrats, mate. Glad to see everything I taught you has come to the fruition, come to the fore. All those hard-grown balls I taught you all about. Can you give us an example, a literal example of how the freedom's been created in the football club?
I don't know. I think like what Vossi was doing it as well, but Josh, it's just sometimes. Yeah, Vossi just felt like it was probably the right thing for him to give it. Like maybe that was the space we needed, and he's talked about that with us. But, yeah, Fraser's been really clear, really simple. Just be more simple with the footy. So sometimes just giving the first gives just opens up the field. So, but it all starts with the game will never change. I think it all starts with, winning the contest and who can defend better, and then you transition from attack and start from there. But yeah, sometimes it's just bringing back the fundamentals, winning your contest, your ground balls, like you said, Ty, and then things can happen for you.
The game looks like a Vossi game. You're playing the contest like Vossi wants to play, just you weren't playing offensively the way he wanted you to play. It's clearly very evident, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And probably brought in a few guys like Billy Wilson's really come on off the half back. Like, you give some youth in there, some excitement. They're trying to figure out their trade, and once they know how to do some things, they put it on, they put more energy into it. So he's one. Like Taylor Burns, another one. Yeah. So just like a bit of youth can help as well.
George, was there a meeting during the week to work out what you guys wanted out of the second half of the year?
Nah, not really. Like, you sort of, as Ty knows, it just goes so quick. You sort of have your bye, you come back, you train flat out for the day. And you just want to have a few, like a meeting on where you sit statistically on a few areas, and then you try and improve them. And if you're going well in some areas, try and uphold them. But no, not like a big conversation. It's just the reality of where we sit and where we need to get better.
Did you see the reports of that, though? And what did you think of them?
Oh, it was a fair bit of work to get done, but we're getting there.
Appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us, George. Best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Well done, Georgie. You can stay in one of my houses in Coogee if you want, mate, next time.
There is George Stewart, the Carlton midfielder, who was very, very good today alongside Paddy Cripps. So the Blues, they do win by 23 points.
Alicia, you got the votes, haven't you?
6 and 8.
No, I think you do tonight, Targ. I handballed that to you about an hour ago. So
I did just get a text from Andrew Mays, who's working on the next game, saying we may never lose again, Carlton, which the way they're going is...
it's the lid off, is it?
They might not lose for the next 2 weeks. West Coast and Richmond, they could get to 8 and 8.
You'd expect it, not a weight of expectations, a different shift to you, isn't it, as a football club? So you've had the freedom of playing, no expectation. Yeah. No, it's gone, hang on a second. Yeah. Melbourne's a small town, when you're winning an expectation on this one of the biggest clubs in the city.
So just recapping the game, many of you are about to depart and head to the match coming up between Collingwood and Port Adelaide. Corbin Middlemass, Lauren Borden, Cal Sinclair, Brent Harvey and Andrew Mays to bring us the action in that contest. 5 lead changes in the first quarter and a half. Then from there, Carlton were in control. They got out to a 23-point lead. GWS kicked the next 4, brought it back to parity, but Carlton kicked the last 4 goals of the game to win by 23 points. They moved to 6 and 8 on the season. For those of you off to the MCG, goodbye.